The Cincinnati Cyclones came blowing into town Tuesday night with a top record in the Eastern Conference of the IHL, and the Aeros were up to the task. Houston played tough, but this fluky empty net goal in the second period gave Cincinnati a 2-goal lead. But Paul DiPietro's shorthanded goal would cut the lead to 1, but that was the last the Aeros would get. Tonight, Houston gets a crack at the Whirlwinds again next on Prime Sports. Live from the Summit in Houston, Texas, Prime Sports and the Houston Aeros present International Hockey League action. Tonight, the Houston Aeros take on the Cincinnati Cyclones. A very pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Summit. I'm Adam Gordon. We get set for the second meeting in a row between the Aeros and the Cyclones. The Aeros dropped the 5-3 decision Tuesday night to the Cyclones. They've dropped 2 in a row, but look to turn things around tonight. And I bring in my broadcast partner, Mike Greenlay, and they have a good chance. They've made a big trade, the Aeros have. They have traded Jim Pack to the Minnesota Moose from Mike Hurlbut. What does that bring to the Aero lineup?
Well, it brings Mike Hurlbut, a defenseman with offensive capabilities. Last season, he had 11 goals, 49 assists for 60 points, an all-star team member. And he'll bring a really good posture on the defense and on the power play.
Yeah, and he would be joining the ranks of Mark Laniel and Miles O'Connor on the Aero blue line as far as Aero defensemen go offensively. But I'll tell you what, you start with the Aero backstops, and it seems like these guys have been in and out of the lineup quite a bit in hockey games lately.
Well, yeah, and that means in and out of the lineup as far as going into the game and not finishing it, and they've been traded out quite a few times, but these guys just need to get their confidence back, and they'll be back on top. These guys are 2 great competitors, and speaking of a great competitor, you have Daniel Lorenz on the other end for the Cincinnati Cyclones. He is 21-2 in those last 23 decisions. Now that goes back to last season. This year, he's 11-1-2. Goaltender of the month. They're going to have to be sharp to beat him.
Wow, it's going to be a great game just between those 2 alone. It's time for our Oshman's Game Plan. It's brought to you by Oshman Super Sports USA. You know, the Aeros had a lot of chances in the last game. Let's see what they can do tonight.
22 to be exact, and they only had 3 goals on those 22 chances. Conversely, 14 for the Cincinnati Cyclones. They got 5 goals on theirs. Next thing is composure. When the other team does score a goal, you want to come back strong. You don't want to slouch or slump, and that goes the same for a bad call maybe. And we talked about goaltending. That's going to be key. Gamble's going to have to be sharp tonight.
All right. Head coach Terry Ruskowski pretty excited about the new defenseman Mike Hurlbut. We'll talk about that with him and more when we return. We'll be right back. Houston Aeros Hockey on Prime Sports is being brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Fly Southwest, the low-fare airline. By your participating Texas Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep and Eagle dealers. By Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment to healthcare together. By Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. Add more life to your car, take it to the stars. And by the Gatorade Company. If you're living life to the fullest, you're gonna get thirsty. That's why you need Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Life's a sport, drink it up. Welcome back to the Summit, everybody. Adam Gordon alongside the head coach of the Houston Aeros, Terry Ruskowski. And although a tough loss Tuesday night 5-3 to the Cincinnati Cyclones, I really thought your hockey team played well enough to win.
Adam, I really did too. I looked back after the game, and the chances for us, for a good chance to score, was 22, and they had 14. So anytime you have those kind of statistics facing you, you should win hockey games. But we didn't, and we just have to face reality and say, hey, we're going to come out here tonight and work a little bit harder, and instead of 22, we'll have 32.
Do you like it when you're playing the same team back-to-back?
I don't particularly like it because it puts a lot of pressure on the players whoever lost, or the team whoever lost, and right now a lot of pressure's on us. Even though we haven't been winning at home, it's still added pressure because we played against these guys. They're a very quality team, they're experienced, they're good, and it's going to be a tough task for us.
Tonight we get a look, perhaps, at a new Aero and Mike Hurlbut, a trade acquiring Mike Hurlbut from Minnesota for Jim Pack. What are your thoughts on that deal?
Well, last year he had great stats in the American League. He had over 60 points. He's got a real good shot from the point, and hopefully he can generate some good shots and some scoring opportunities on our power play. That's been kind of struggling from the point as of late, so hopefully that can kickstart our power play, and he can get some points and feel more relaxed here and put up the numbers he did in the American League last year.
Yeah, and the nice thing is it gives you 3 quality offensive guys with O'Connor and Laniel also.
Yeah, that's true, and I haven't seen him play a whole lot, but what I've heard is all good things, so hopefully he can come here and really generate a lot of good things for us.
All right, best of luck.
Thank you, Adam.
That's head coach Terry Ruskowski. It's the Aeros and the Cyclones right after this.
Bright stars through fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed.
Welcome back to the Summit, everybody, along with Mike Greenlay, Adam Gordon with you as we get set for the Aeros and the Cincinnati Cyclones. Should be an outstanding game as the Aeros try to snap a 2-game losing skid. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines for the Cyclones. Starting up front, it'll be the line of Scott Thomas, Paul Lawless, Dave Tomlinson. That line did a pretty good bunch of damage to the Aeros the other night. Dwayne Joyce, Bob Wilkie defensively. And in goal, Danny Lorenz. 11-1-2 this year, 2.16 goals against average, 92.3 save percentage. One of the top goaltenders, if not the top goaltender, in the IHL. For the Houston Aeros, up front, it'll be a line of Al Conroy, Mike Maurice, Scott Arniel. Defensively, we'll look at the new guy, Mike Hurlbutt, wearing sweater number 2, also on defense. Miles O'Connor, and in goal, Troy Gamble did a good job coming in, backing up Rob Dobson the other night. Gamble's numbers, he's 5-10, a 4.54 goals against average, and an 86.2 save percentage. And we're ready to go. The Aeros in their home whites, Cyclones wearing their road red sweaters, and we're underway. The Cyclones shoot the puck into the Aero zone, and back to play it is Miles O'Connor. O'Connor swinging along the boards near side. Arniel turning in his own end, and he'll chip the puck off the glass. It came out at center ice. Conroy fighting for the loose puck, but it came back into the Cincinnati zone, and Wilkie cleared it out of center, taken away by Arniel. Had to wait for Conroy to come onside. A pass for Conroy off the mark. Scott Thomas turns it around, and here comes Lawless. This guy can wheel. Watch him go. Lawless across the line trying to drop it. It was blocked, though, by Hurlbutt. And here come the Aeros to center ice. Conroy left side shoots right on Lorenz, the save, rebound. And that was tossed just wide by Arniel, and Bob Wilkie will turn and clear it. Here come the Cyclones, 3-on-2. Rink wide pass broken up by Maurice, and Hurlbutt is back to chip it out to center ice for Conroy. Al Conroy, late in the shift, shoots the puck into the Cincinnati zone. He'll come off for the line change. A minute gone in the first period in a scoreless hockey game, and Cincinnati's got it. Marcinician to Brian Dobbin, trying to push the puck ahead. It was knocked away, and the Aeros have got it. Yo had it knocked free, and Dobbin again will wing it into the Aero end. Donnelly back in his own end. He'll flip the puck off the boards. It'll go down the ice. Icing indicated as Lenny Esau goes back to play it, and whistle halts play. Head coach Terry Ruskowski was vehemently aggravated with the officiating last game, but I understand ready to forget about things and get things underway here. I know that it was a very weird hockey game. I think we saw a little bit of everything Tuesday.
We certainly did. Well, one of the things we did see, and one of the things that I liked that I saw, is Terry Ruskowski's team just jumped out, and they really dominated that first period. They held the puck down deep in the zone quite a bit, and they're doing that a little bit tonight already. So I want to see them, and I'm sure Terry Ruskowski does too, come out. And there's Ron Smith, coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones. I think he just wants to see a same concerted effort by his team.
Marcinician off the face-off, throws it down into behind the Aero net, jammed along the boards. Yo trying to move it. They battle for the puck in behind, and finally it came to the near side. Aeros trying to scoop for it with a minute and a half gone. Good battle on the board. Yo finding off 2 Cyclones in there, and finally it's dug out by Laniel. Chipped it behind the cage, and there's Steve Jakes. Off the skates, Slivchenko couldn't corral it, and Jakes is there again. Worked it back out. Slivchenko banks one off the boards for Lamb, and here come the Aeros. It's Lamb, Yo, and Slivchenko. Lamb hits the line, trying to find Yo. It was pushed away. It came down. Lorenz escorts it away, and it's Jeff Greenlaw, and he had it jammed away by Lamb. Lorenz comes out of the net. He'll flip it along the boards, knocked down by Lamb. Jammed it down for Slivchenko, trying to move it out in front. He centered it, but only Cyclones were there, and it's Marcinician who will skate it up and out. For a former teammate in Milwaukee, Brian Dobbin, they both played last year for the Admirals, and now with the Cyclones, puck shot into the Aero zone. Steve Jakes gives one out to Laniel, trying to steer one out at center ice. That's turned away, and the Cyclones bring it up the other side now. Along the near boards, it was turned in there by Mark LaBelle. Aero territory, a shot wide of the net by Cantos. Here's the drive by Dahlquist, knocked away, and it's picked up by Jake. Can't clear the zone. Turned around by the Cyclones. Right side, LaBelle pulls up base the right circle, centered one. Here's the shot turned down, but Cantos couldn't pull the trigger. LaBelle pulls back, top of the left circle. Rink wide pass, Dale DeGray. The shot deflected. Gamble got a piece of it. Cantos trying to center one. It's dug out along the near side by Turgeon and moved out to DiPietro. Couldn't clear the zone. LaBelle turning, looks for Cantos, blocked by Jakes. Aeros struggling, trying to get it out of their zone. Scoreless hockey game. Cyclones fighting for the loose puck, and finally DiPietro wings one out at center ice. 3 minutes gone in the first, no score. Dale DeGray for Cincinnati retreats back to his own blue line. DeGray, right side, turns one out at center ice. And Mark LaBelle fired it into the Aero zone, and Carl Valamont will go back to play it. Icing indicated, and icing will be called. And it's a scoreless hockey game. We take time out. Scoreless from the Summit, back after this, but first, a word from the Southwest Airlines. Scoreless hockey game from the Summit, along with Mike Greenlay, Adam Gordon with you. And right now, pretty good start by the Cyclones, putting some pressure on the Aeros in their own end. They haven't had to test, the Aeros haven't had to test Danny Lorenz.
And they do rank #1 in the league at 2.59. They were 2.58 last game. They had 3 goals on them. It jumps up a little bit, but they still are #1 defensively. The Aeros are going to have to remember that when they're driving to the net. They're going to have to make good on their chances.
Shot by Conroy, and it's stuck aside by Lorenz. Conroy, right side, turns one down behind the net. It was pushed away by the Cyclones, picked up Conroy again. He centered to Maurice, pulled the trigger, wide of the net, though. I'll tell you what, when you've got a defense like the Cyclones have, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of guys that can play great, but you got a good goaltender, Danny Lorenz. That just makes it tougher. Puck is turned around. Here come the Cyclones. The shot deflected by Maurice, and it goes up over the glass and out of play.
Well, one of the marks of a good team, Adam, is balance in the team, and Cincinnati certainly has that. They have guys like Joyce, a heck of a good defenseman. He's actually he's second in the league for defenseman in scoring. And I mean, you have a goaltender like Danny Lorenz and Shabbat, and you just keep going up the line. You have Lawless, who's up there as well. I mean, this team really does it well altogether, and that's why they're the first in their conference.
Face-off is controlled, or the face-off will be to the right side of Gamble. Is Dwayne Joyce. You get a look at him. He had a good start to this year, and I'll tell you what, a guy that had a terrific run last year with the Kansas City Blades in the Turner Cup Finals. Cyclones win the draw. Marcinishin came down to Dobbin. The shot deflected. Oh, somehow that hit Gamble, and it's chipped away. Gamble, I think, lost sight of it at the last second, and then all of a sudden it says, there it is, and the Aeros finally turn it around. Yo near side. He'll move it up and out at center ice for a breaking Slivchenko. Hits the line with Lamb. Dumped the puck in, but he was bumped by Dave Marcinishin. It's rolled away by the Cyclones. Near side, Brian Dobbin trying to chip it out of the zone. Bumped by Laniel. Dobbin near side. He's watched by Yo. Skate the skate in the corner. Finally in there to dig it out was Lamb. Looks for Yo. Base of the circle, Yo for Lamb. Had a chance to get it to Yo, but Yo had no one to pass to. Worked it down along. Don Biggs chipped it away, but Slivchenko got it back. Slivchenko for Lamb. Bumped along the boards by Esau. It came to the line, and Dobbin was able to move it out at center ice and into the Aero zone. Steve Jakes is back. Pass to the right side. Yo hammered it into the Cincinnati zone. Lorenz out to slow, and Len Esau is there. Scott Thomas. Right side, move it up and down at center ice to the left side for Marcinishin. Got it into the Aero end. Out of the net, Troy Gamble. He'll slow it along the board. Miles O'Connor jammed it back along the near side. It'll come to the line for DeGray. The shot right on Gamble, the stick save. And it's turned by Sylvain Turgeon. Cleared to the line, not out. Held in by DeGray. Centered, the shot stopped by Gamble with a right pad. And it's cleared out at center for Slivchenko. Slivy trying to move it in down the right side. Charging was DiPietro, but DeGray was there. And Dale DeGray will move it up and out of his own. Quick pass for Scott Thomas, pushed away. And Slivchenko got the stick high on Scott Thomas, but no call. I don't think Mike Lego, the referee, saw it. Now the puck jammed to the near side. Townsend, what a game he had the other night against Cincinnati. 2 goals. Here comes Thomas now, across the line. Back in front, right in, Lawless shoots, and he hit the post. Oh, Wallace blew right in on goal and hit a crossbar or a post with that shot. And the Aeros turn it around. Here comes DiPietro at center ice, across the line. Looks in front. DiPietro turning. Here's Donnelly. He shoots. Oh, marvelous right pad save made by Lorenz. To the left side, Arneal jammed it down for Townsend. He'll boom it back along. It came behind, spanked away by Lorenz. It's picked up by Thomas and shoveled all the way down the ice as the Cyclones needed to clear the heat. Donnelly goes back and whistles, stops play on the icing call.
What a great job by the Aeros moving the puck around there. Tell you what, Donnelly had a great opportunity as he blasted it on Lorenz, but I tell you what, right before that, a great passing play, and you see the speed of Lawless, and he just chips that one. I tell you what, that just hit the crossbar about an inch under, and that would have been a goal. But I tell you what, the Aeros come right back, and a good job by Donnelly, still looking for his first goal of the season with a booming slap shot. Lorenz, see how far out on the top of a crease he is? I tell you what, that guy's challenging, and that's why he has a record of 11-1-2 this season.
Face-off right side of Lorenz, and the Cyclones have it. It's shot back into the Aero zone. Out of the net, Campbell. He'll stop, he'll slow, and then hold, and then say, I've had enough. 13:55 to go, and good to see Troy Campbell off to this good start.
He is off to a good start. A little scrambly off the bat, but he's hanging in there.
You can skate with the Houston Aeros. Join them this Friday night at the Miracle on Main Street downtown ice skating rink. They'll be there from 5 to 7 p.m. That's tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Visit Houston's new and exciting Miracle on Main Street. Face-off, left side to Troy Gamble. 6 minutes gone in the first. In a scoreless game, puck through traffic block, and Arneal has got it. He'll turn it along the fireboards. In there was Maurice. Can he get it out of his own? No, it was held to the left point by Bob Wilkie, but finally a second effort came out at center ice, and the Cyclones go back to play it. Todd Hawkins looked one out at center. And Mark LaBelle was there to Dwayne Joyce, and Bob Wilkie hammers one out for Cantos. And it goes into the Aeros zone. Pursuing is LaBelle. He's pushed into the boards by Donnelly. They go skate to skate along as Valamont was working Biggs over. And finally, it's picked up by the Aeros and Arneal. A pass to center ice for Conroy. 2-on-2 with Maurice. Conroy hits the line. Dumped it for Maurice. Cuts to the slot. Pushed away LaBelle. Trying to move it down. Maurice has it. Right side. A pass down Arneal. Base of the right circle. Poke check by Cantos. And he'll turn in his own zone and shoot it all the way back to center ice. 7 minutes gone in the first and a no score in the hockey game. Jakes past Conroy, tipped it into the Cincinnati zone, and back goes Len Esau. Esau, forechecked by Mark Freer, worked one out to the far side for Jeff Greenlaw, and he'll move it to the line, not out, held in by Jakes. He was dumped, worked it down though. Here is a centering pass, and Freer came down the left side and deflected a pass wide of the net. A marvelous chance for Freer as he took a great pass from Mark Lamb. Marcinishin sends one out at center. It's turned away by Jakes, looking for Lamb. Freer was pinching, and it came back out at center. Dobbin in a foot race with Laniel. Dobbin will win the race. Dobbin will get by Laniel. Looks in front. He's got Greenlaw and Biggs. Instead, goes back to the line of the drive, and a stick save made by Campbell. And the puck goes out of play, and we take timeout. No score from the Summit back after this.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving for smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice, though. Maybe you'd better leave the windows rolled up.
Here in Sinaloa, in northwest Mexico, everything is ready for the outdoor enthusiast. World-class wing shooting and astounding angling are all available from this geographically centralized location. The only thing missing from this hunting and fishing paradise is you. Wonderful adventure in Sinaloa's great outdoors. Sinaloa, sea.
Welcome back to the Summit. Cyclones, Aeros, no score with 12:20 left to play, and Mike Yo almost helps make it 1-0 as he gives it to Lamb, and Lamb will find Freer on the back door, but Freer can't make it count as it goes off the end of his stick, but a good job by the Aeros putting some pressure on.
Face-off is controlled by the Cyclones. The pass deflected away and jammed to the line. Not out. The shot by Esau got in there, but never made it to Gamble. Chipped away by Turgeon, but it was centered in front, and Gamble reads that play beautifully. Don Biggs trying to sneak one in there. I think he had on the doorstep Scott Thomas, but Gamble read it nicely, and he will hold on to it. It was 12:07 to go in the first, no score, and Terry Wiskowski upset about something.
Well, Terry Wiskowski probably asking about something in front of the net. It was a little bit physical out there, but good job by Gamble. I tell you what, the puck's chipped away from Turgeon, and then it just centered, but Gamble reads it. And I tell you what, Cincinnati, I think it was Contos right alone on the back door. Good job by Gamble. And, I talked to Gamble, but specifically I talked to Dauber about those kind of passes coming across the crease, and they both agreed that that's something that goalies need to be good at.
Puck is in the far corner, and DiPietro is there for Houston, and he will shoot that one up over the glass and out of play. If you were following the game Tuesday, Mike Lego, the referee, made a very controversial call on a penalty, and the Aeros apparently had possession of the puck. So did Rob Dobson, the Aero netminder. He came to the bench, and the penalty was on the Aeros. And the thing is that Mike Lego never made the call, and a lot of controversy. I saw the tape. I thought Conroy had possession. Terry Wiskowski, Dave Tippett, Pete Dineen all thought he had possession. But to this moment, Mike Lego still thinks he made the right call. So I guess it was just a matter of opinion on what control of the puck is, and that's kind of an interesting segment as the puck goes out of play once again. What really constitutes possession and control of the puck?
Well, I mean, that comes down to one of those calls, and it's always a call like this that has that kind of reaction. It's called a discretionary call, and of course he has the discretion to make up his mind whether something is or something isn't. In this case, he said Conroy did not have possession because it was in his skates. Well, some people consider kicking the puck around with your feet possession because you are controlling the puck. But then again, like I said, I don't even know if Mike Lego saw that at all because he was arguing with Mark Lamb, and that's why he was calling the penalty on Mark Lamb. But as it resulted, it was a 2-goal lead. The empty net goal caused a 2-goal lead and an eventual winning goal for the Cincinnati Cyclones.
Scoreless game from the summit. The puck kind of jumped in on Danny Lorenz, and the Cyclones there to play it as it's controlled by Dahlquist. Here they come from left to right. Chris Dahlquist, pinched by Conroy. Get it right side to Gray. A pass at center ice, and here comes Lawless. Don't give him a lot of room, folks. Lawless turns at center. Shoots it into the Aeros zone, pursuing a Scott Thomas. He's bumped by Hurlbut. Nice play there, and then down he went. Here's a drive that's spanked wide of the net by Tomlinson. DeGray slides, sets a check, a shot right on. Gamble save, rebound in front. A penalty coming up to the Houston Aeros. Great right pad save by Troy Gamble. And finally, we will get a whistle, and we'll get a penalty on the Aeros.
The Houston Aeros in front of their own net are going to get a holding call, and it'll go to Miles O'Connor. He doesn't really agree with that. But I tell you what, the rebound came right back out, and Miles O'Connor had to haul a Cincinnati Cyclone player down. Otherwise, it could be 1-0. I think we have the replay as Troy Gamble makes a good save on Dale DeGray. The puck comes out, and Miles O'Connor is all over Tomlinson. And it was a good call that time by Lego because O'Connor really draped all over Tomlinson, not allowing him to get to that rebound. But a good save by Gamble, and he'll have to make a few more as the Cincinnati Cyclones have a 19.9% ratio on their power play. That's 6th in the IHL.
Off the face-off, Aeros have got it. Hurlbut spins one to the near side. It comes out at center ice. And back into the Cincinnati zone. Here's Bob Wilkie in behind his net. Bob Wilkie played last year with the Indianapolis Ice and has now found himself a home for the time being in Cincinnati.
I played with him in Hershey actually last year a bit.
Puck goes into the Arrow end. An icing call coming up to Cincinnati, and play whistle down.
Actually, Bob Wilkie went over to Europe this year for a little while to try and test that out, and he came back. I haven't had a chance to talk to him as to why or why he didn't like it or whether things just didn't work out, but he's doing a pretty good job for the Cincinnati Cyclones while he's been here.
Bob Wilkie's an interesting story also. If you remember back last year, I know Arrow fans don't want to remember this, but the Arrows had a 5-2 lead against Indianapolis. Not only was Wilkie the guy that scored the tying goal to send it into the shootout, but when they got to the shootout, he scored the winning goal.
Yeah, he's been a talented player his whole career. Him and I played pee-wee hockey together.
Come on.
Yeah, we were both 10 years old or something. He's the one I've played with played in the league or known the longest in hockey, I guess.
You do have romper room together too?
Yeah, we had our milk and nap in the afternoon together.
Here comes Lawless across the line, and then he was sidestepped by Jake, then brought it back in. That's offside. And play halted with 1:19 left in the power play. 10.5 to go in the first period. No score.
A great job by the Aeros keeping players like Lawless, standing them up at the blue line there. Lawless, as everyone can see, has great speed. And Smith right there, coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones, will definitely keep guys like him on the ice as much as possible.
Lots of email flowing in, and we invite you to ask either Mike Greenley or myself questions about anything regarding the Aeros, and we can talk hockey. agordon@aeros.com is the address, and you not only reach me, but you reach Mike Greenley, and we just ask that you're patient with Greener. Getting him in the office is sometimes a tough thing.
There's nothing for me to do there.
So off the face-off, it is controlled by the Cyclones, and they'll play it in behind the net with 1:11 left in the power play. Pass right side, Biggs, a pass picked up Dobbin, trying to return it to Biggs, but it came down, and Gamble taking no chances. He will cover up and hold on.
Good job by the Aeros so far. They, even though they're 19th in the league on the penalty kill with 75%, they're doing a good job on this one as they're really standing up the Cincinnati Cyclones to the blue line, and when the puck is dumped in, they're the first ones to it. And Gamble doing a good job playing the puck or freezing it when he has to. And right now, Terry Ruskowski and Dave Tippett trying to talk some positional play with Valamont as they try to move guys around to better utilize their abilities.
Face-off between DiPietro and Biggs, or make that Lamb and Biggs rather, and Lamb wins the draw. I'll spit it out, I promise. Puck comes to the near side. Back to the point for Joyce. It's intercepted. The Aeros have a short-handed break. 2-on-1. Lamb with Freer. Lamb winding, shooting. Club save. Lorenz bobbled the rebound. And it was turned away by the Cyclones. Lamb near side looking along the board. Cantos took it away. And Joyce has it. Boy, that's a tough break. I couldn't tell from this angle if he really had Freer.
Well, no, I don't think. I think he didn't have the right passing lane, and so he made the smart decision. He took the shot, and Freer was there for any rebound. The puck did jump out of his glove.
Yeah, that's a good play, especially for crashing to the net as hard as he was. Now Dobbin looks in front, but it was pushed away by Lamb, and right back down the ice it goes, and the Aeros making changes. 9.5 to go in the period, 20 seconds left on the power play. Scoreless hockey game, and the Cyclones have it. At center ice, here comes Dale DeGray, shoots it into the Aero zone. Campbell comes out to slow. It's fired away by Laniel, but not out. Intercepted. Lawless sends one back, left point. Here's DeGray, the shot, score! Dale DeGray from the left point, a power play goal. Cyclones on the board, it's a 1-0 hockey game.
Well, you can't give Dale DeGray too many chances. He's got a really good hard shot, but what really makes that happen is Scott Thomas standing right in front of Gamble. Gamble can't see. Dale DeGray just elects to wind up and shoot it from the top of the circle, and Thomas is right in front of Gamble. I don't think Gamble saw all of it, and it squeaks between his pads. You'll get a better angle as it just comes through a crowd, and it squeaks between his legs, and Gamble feels it go through. He was hoping it didn't go all the way through, but DeGray still comes up with a goal, and that is his 4th of the year. He has 17 assists and gives him 21 points. That's his 9th in the IHL in defensive scoring.
Puck is controlled by Houston, shot to the line, not out, and Cincinnati turns it around. Mark LaBelle, the shot, Gamble stopped it. It's jammed away by Cincinnati. Lenny Esau to Todd Hawkins, right side. Hawkins moving in, winding, shooting, stopping was Gamble. It jumped up on him. Mark LaBelle gives it back to Hawkins. It was centered back in front, but the Aeros were there and turned around. Here they come to center ice. Mike Maurice, he'll shoot it into the Cincinnati zone. And Danny Lorenz slows for Dale DeGray. He'll roll it along the boards and find its way out at center ice. So 1-0 Cincinnati on DeGray's 4th of the year, a power play goal. And the Aeros trying to turn it around. Here is Maurice, gives to Arneal, moving down the left side. Arneal looks in front, center, but it was behind Maurice. And Mark LaBelle is there. LaBelle, center ice, Hawkins shoots it into the Aero zone. And back goes Gord Donnelly. Donnelly moves it up and out of his zone. Donnelly, right side, got it into the Cincinnati zone, out of the net. Lorenz hands it back for Esau. Reversed along the boards, and Cantos is there. Center ice pass for Biggs, hits the line, looks in front for Dobbin. Instead pulls up, moves in, sends one. Esau pinching down the right side. Townsend sizes him up, and the puck turned around by Sylvain Turgeon. Couldn't clear the zone though. Came behind the net, and it's Cantos. Centered in front, blocked, another drive, blocked, third chance, shot, stopped by Gamble, 4th shot. Oh, and that went just wide of the net. Here's Biggs again, hammers a pass, and the net becomes dislodged. With 7.5 to go in the first period, Cyclones lead it 1-0. We'll be back right after this.
You ever hear anyone talk about life like you gotta chew it up and spit it out? You gotta want it so bad you can taste it. You gotta be hungry. If so, Gatorade has one question for you. You want something to drink with that? Because you're gonna be thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
From now till Christmas, Mobile One crushes the competition with a mammoth holiday sale. All in-dash cassette decks are on sale, like this Sony for just $59.91. All in-dash CD players are on sale. Get a mammoth deal on this Sony in-dash AM/FM CD player. Now it's only $159. Use your Mobile One card for 0% interest until April. Mammoth savings, mammoth selection. Now till Christmas at your mobile electronics specialist.
Welcome back to the Summit. 1-0 Cyclones lead it, and they almost get a second as there was a flurry of shots in front of Gamble, but Gamble standing tall as Biggs will get the puck, and he'll just start working, and he'll get a couple shots at it, and eventually the net will become dislodged, and the whistle will be blown, and now there's a face-off to the left of Troy Gamble.
And it's controlled off the draw by Houston. Chipped out in front, it came to center. Aeros trying to advance it, but it was swept away by Len Esau, and back into the Aero end. It is Laniel. Gets to the near side for Mike Yeo. And the Cyclones go back for it. Don Biggs pass over to the far side for Marcinishin. And Kontos turns in his own zone. Chris Kontos, forecheck by Slivchenko. Give it to Marcinishin, watched by Lamb. It's gotten up to the line, held by Jakes, moves it down to the near corner. Lamb is there, wrapped up by Marcinishin. Turned it down, but Esau bumped by Slivchenko. And to the corner, Kontos for the Cincinnati Cyclones. And now it is Brian Dobbin. Couldn't clear the zone. Lamb held top of the slot. A pass. Slivchenko drizzled one in there, but it was swept away by Lorenz. He's allowing just over a couple of goals a game. It is Yo, right side. Jammed it down for Lamb. It was pushed in behind, and finally the Cyclones have it, and it's chipped heads up. Wow, that nearly went off their associate coach Al Hill. But I'll tell you what, you look at the Central Division for the Houston Aeros, they've dropped 2 in a row, and the Aeros trying to climb out of the cellar, 4 points back of the Atlanta Knights with 26 points. Cleveland, what a run they're putting together. The Cleveland Lumberjacks, 5-4-1 in their last 9, but I'll tell you, they had an 8-0 run there for a while. And then in the Northern Division, Cincinnati, the cream of the crop at 19-5-3. They are running away in the North.
Well, I tell you what, you look at Cincinnati, who's leading the Eastern Division, and Houston, who is trailing in the Eastern Division. And, you know, there's not that many differences out on the ice. You really can't see it. But I tell you what, Cincinnati finds a way to win.
Here's a shot by Hurlbut that's deflected away. And the Cyclones have caught it. Looks like Mr. Hurlbut possesses a bit of a slap shot.
He does. He does possess offensive capabilities, and that's why the Aeros acquired him.
It's picked up by Maurice down the near side. Jammed it down. Conroy looks in front. Conroy waiting. Centered the shot. Turned just wide by O'Connor. And it's picked up again by Maurice. A backhander goes wide. Along the fireboards, Arneal looks for Maurice. He's bumped off the puck, but Conroy center one too far. Arneal, and the puck is cleared. And Lawless is off to the races. Left side. He returns it down the right side for Thomas, but Arneal goes back and he'll work it away. O'Connor to Maurice. He'll move it up and out at center ice for Arneal, and here comes Al Conroy. Conroy over to Maurice, back across. It goes in deep behind the net, and Lorenz poked it away for Cincinnati, and it shot down to center ice. Jakes ripped it into the Cyclone zone. Picked up by Freer, pinching down the right side. He's got Laniel in front, can't get it to him. He's bumped by Wilkie, down he went. And Cincinnati turns it around, can't clear the zone. Second effort for Thomas. He'll move it out at center ice for DeGray. Tipped it ahead for LaBelle. Into the Aero zone, LaBelle fighting for it. It was jammed away by Yo. And he'll get it out at center and into the Cincinnati zone, but pushed away by Chris Dahlquist. And then Jakes had trouble with it. It goes up and out of play. 5:08 to go in the first. Cincinnati leads at 1-0. Good to see Steve Jakes back in the lineup.
Yeah, and I think he's got a little more intensity tonight. He came to the player's door tonight, and the security guard not really recognizing him. Jakes came a little bit early, so the security guard says, no, the door doesn't open for another 10 minutes. So Jakes got in an argument with him, and he had to come around and come down the ramp where the trucks come in. And boy, was he steaming when he came in. So hopefully that kind of intensity will transfer out on the ice, and we'll see a good physical game out of Steve Jakes.
But of course, when you walked in, they had the red carpet for you, didn't they?
Oh, sure. They said, oh, Mr. Greenley, your car's waiting.
Yeah, along with your American Express card, right? Okay, puck goes out of play. Not that I want to know you. There's Chris Dahlquist, who, along with the Cincinnati blue line, I'll tell you, they have put together one of the top blue lines. I mean, with Dahlquist, Dwayne Joyce, Dale DeGray, Len Esau. Cincinnati right now running away with the East, and rightfully so, because of guys like Dahlquist.
Well, certainly. They play a good defensive system, and they take care of their own end. I tell you what, that goes a long way to winning. The Cincinnati Cyclones don't necessarily score a whole bunch of goals, but it's just that they don't allow a lot either.
We're near side. In the zone, it was tipped away. Dahlquist behind the net, wrapped up by Yogi. Pietro was smoking in there. He takes it away from LaBelle, cuts in, lost the puck. Now Balamont shoots, and he hammered it wide of the net. Picked up by Donnelly, right side, jammed it down for Guy Pietro. He's bumped by Dahlquist. In there is Yo. He's wrapped up by Chris Bergeron. And we're going to get a penalty to Cincinnati. Delayed penalty coming up to Cincinnati, and it's pushed away and controlled by the Cyclones. And let's take a timeout. When we return, the Aeros get their first crack on the power play. 1-0 Cincinnati. Hey, don't play with dolls. We'll be right back.
Maybe you've always seen yourself in a new Jeep Grand Cherokee with a 185 horsepower engine, improved suspension, and dual airbags. But maybe you've never seen one fitting into your budget. So maybe you'll be surprised to see, for $3.99 monthly, one can. The easy-to-own Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now, if you can see it in your head, you can see it in your driveway.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Texaco has joined the Aero Force. It's time for you to experience Houston Aeros Pro Hockey, and Texaco has your ticket. Stop by participating Houston area Texaco locations. Fill up with 8 gallons of clean System 3 gasoline and get a special coupon for a free hockey ticket when you buy one. Available only at Texaco. Experience sticks swinging, pucks flying, bodies crashing with Houston Aeros Hockey today. Houston Aeros Pro Hockey and Texaco. Take it to the star.
1-0 Cyclones lead it here at the Summit, and I tell you what, Adam and I had a big discussion about what puck possession is. A delayed penalty coming up to the Cincinnati Cyclones. Last game, Conroy had it in his feet, and it wasn't called puck possession, but this chip right here off of Yo's stick, right there, the whistle blows. That's called puck possession, so a little bit of difference in the viewing of the penalty or the delayed penalty there.
That's why I'm just a broadcaster. I have no idea what's going on. Unbelievable. Puck goes down into the arrow end. And back to play it is Miles O'Connor. Here comes O'Connor. He'll work it out. 6 in the IHL. The Cyclones are when killing penalties. Across the line, it's Lamb. Gives it Turgeon. Pulled it back, O'Connor. And here is Turgeon, right side. Jammed it down. Looks in front. Centered the shot. Oh, what a save by Lorenz. Somebody grab a snake bite kit. Once again, the snake has wrapped itself around Turgeon, taking a big bite out of him. Wow. Right on goal and a beautiful save. Another drive is blocked. Turgeon picked it up right side, looped it down. It came back to Turgeon. Nice pass, Laniel shoots right on, and Lorenz the save, and he will hold on.
I'll tell you what, good job by Lorenz there, making 2 great saves. The first one a lot more spectacular than the second one, and the second one very effective because he smothered the puck. But I tell you what, it's a give and go. Lamb will give it back to Turgeon, and he just one-times it, and what a blocker save by Lorenz as he stretches across the crease, and another look at it from a different angle. Good job by Turgeon. He doesn't have a lot of time, and that was going top corner. I tell you what, Lorenz just got a piece of that one right after that. A shot from the point by Laniel, and he smothers it, and that's what causes the whistle, and the faceoff will come to the right of Lorenz right now. What a job by Lorenz. That's why he's doing so well.
Puck is controlled by the Aeros off the draw. Hurlbut trying to move it down. We'll get our first look at Hurlbut on the power play. Conroy at center ice for Scott Arneal. He got it back to Mike Hurlbut. Quick pass along the boards, too far for Maurice, and it goes all the way down the ice. Under a minute to go in the Aero power play, and Mike Hurlbut goes back behind the net. Hurlbut played with the Cornwall Aces a couple of seasons. Center ice for Conroy. Give it to Arneal across the line. That was chipped away, and Hurlbut got it right back. Here's Mike Maurice. Rink wide pass. Conroy moving down the left wing. Chipped it back. Laniel had it knocked away, though, and the Cyclones clear it right back out. They'll shoot the puck in. Along the right side, it was pushed away by Wilkie. Aeros trying to turn it Conroy. And came back to the line. Laniel gives it over to Arneal, getting set right side. He got Hurlbut pinching far side, and the centering pass comes too far. Hurlbut will hold it into the left point. Jammed it down. Maurice behind the net. They went to Conroy. Arneal gathered it in, gives it back to Conroy with 5 on the power play. Puck center, but Maurice couldn't get the shot away. And here come the Cyclones, but only 3 seconds left in the Aero power play, and LaBelle rips him down, and Campbell makes the save. Back are the Aeros, and they'll turn it around in their own end, trailing 1-0. Out at center ice for Graham Townsend. It goes into the Cincinnati zone. Lorenz out to Slow. Spanked to the near side for Scott Thomas. And it'll come to the near side for Tomlinson, but pushed away by Graham Townsend. Moves into the Cincinnati zone, and Dave Marcinician is there. Under 2 minutes to go in the first. Cyclones lead it on Dale DeGray's 4th of the year, 1-0. Tomlinson pass, not a good one. It was pushed away by Donnelly. Thomas trying to turn it around. It was jammed right back from Freer, and Mark Freer will take it over the line. Freer pinched by Esau. Back is Paul Lawless, and he'll spank one to the line. Not out. Held in. Townsend turning right side, trying to center a pass. He was knocked off the puck by Tomlinson. Townsend working the puck free, and finally we get a whistle and play halted. 1:28 to go in the first period, and Graham Townsend, his team trailing 1-0, had an outstanding hockey game Tuesday with a pair of goals. And I'll tell you what, when this guy touches the puck, look out.
Yeah, he's really doing a job. He has 5 goals in his last 5 games. He had 2 goals in the first period against Cincinnati last time, and he only played a couple of minutes. We timed him. He only played 2 minutes of ice time in that first period, and then he played regular shift after that. But I tell you what, he's really doing a lot of things out there, and it's not just goal scoring. I mean, look at his shooting percentage.
24.1%. That is tops for the Aeros. Number 2 actually is Paul DiPietro at 19.4.
You have a look at a guy like Dave Tomlinson right there. I mean, he has 12 goals, 12 assists, and he has a 16% save percentage. So it'll give you a bit of a comparison as to how good Townsend is right now in the shooting versus scoring department.
Puck is in the Cincinnati zone. Cyclones turn it around. Scott Thomas pass center ice for Lawless, and he'll boom it into the Aero zone. Right side, Tomlinson gives it right in. Thomas center, knocked away. Oh boy, the Aeros got caught a little bit, but it's finally pushed away by Miles O'Connor. Worked it out, Slivchenko. Slivy right side for Lamb. He's got Slivy booming in, but here's Yo! Great save by Lorenz. And once again, it looks like the Aeros are going to have to contend with outstanding goaltending as Lorenz comes up big once more. Back is Hurlbut with 47 to go in the period. It is O'Connor for Hurlbut. A near side pass, Yo. Slivchenko couldn't find the handle, and now it is Yo. Near side Lamb. It goes into the Cyclone zone. This could be a 3-1 Aero lead.
It very well could be with some great saves by Lorenz. Doesn't allow the Aeros to get on the board yet this period.
Dahlquist at center. Ripped it into the Aero zone. Back is Conroy. Had a little trouble with it. Now it is Jeff Greenlaw. Center to pass it. Missed Biggs. And it'll go all the way back into the Cincinnati zone. Wilkie's got to hustle back as he's pursued by Maurice. Slides a pass to neutral for Biggs. It goes down into the Aero zone. And Gamble out of the net. Jakes to the far side. Got it to the line. It's out at center ice. And that is going to be your first period. Well, not a bad period for the Aeros. Once again, I think they get as many chances at least as Cincinnati, but cannot beat that guy right there, Danny Lorenz. He is the man. And Terry Ruskowski writing down the phone number of that Mack truck saying, how do we beat him? We'll find out in the second period. But right now, it's the Cyclones 1, the Aeros nothing. Back after this.
Texaco has joined the Aero Force. It's time for you to experience Houston Aeros Pro Hockey, and Texaco has your ticket. Stop by participating Houston area Texaco locations. Fill up with 8 gallons of clean System 3 gasoline and get a special coupon for a free hockey ticket when you buy one. Available only at Texaco. Experience sticks swinging, pucks flying, bodies crashing with Houston Aeros Hockey today. Houston Aeros Pro Hockey and Texaco. Take it to the star.
I'm Daryl Johnston. I'm a fullback for the Dallas Cowboys and not a professional announcer, so be patient with me. I'm here because I'm a true believer when it comes to Plex. The reason is simple. I love playing in the NFL every Sunday, and it all goes away when my body quits working. They call this stuff superfood, and it really is. What we're talking about here is energy, not being tired anymore. You have the energy for anything. It provides stamina you wouldn't believe. It builds muscle faster, and it burns fat faster. Plex works for anyone, young, old, even people that aren't feeling well. Call me and let me tell you about it. The reason you should do that is because PowerPlex is so good, we pro athletes actually pay for it. That's not just players in the NFL. That's players in the NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball. We pay for it because it makes a difference. So call the number on your screen now and let me tell you about it. This superfood really works.
The 1996 Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. The Colorado Buffaloes, led by head coach Rick Neuheisel and quarterback John Hessler, have trampled all others for a coveted place in Dallas, Texas. Their opponents, the Oregon Ducks, building on last year's Rose Bowl appearance, they continue to assert their power in the Pac-10. Come watch 2 of the nation's most dynamic teams battle for one of college football's major prizes. Be a part of the Cotton Bowl tradition. Order your tickets today. Call 214-638-BOWL.
Back in the Summit, everybody, a 1-0 Cyclone lead on a Dale DeGray goal, his 4th of the year. And I'd like to introduce my first intermission guest, a longtime goaltender in the NHL, former color announcer for the Hartford Whalers, and now a professional scout for the Boston Bruins. Jerry Cheevers, welcome.
pleasure. Nice to be here back in Houston.
Yeah.
Played here in the old WHA. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of wonder if Houston really is a hockey town, and when you look at crowds like this, I guess there's no doubt.
Oh, I think it's a hockey town. I think they could support a National Hockey League team. I really believe that. And they had that good foundation of the old Aeros that won the World Hockey Association Championship years ago.
You know, a lot of talk is going on in pro sports, especially with football and baseball, how teams are moving and there's no loyalty. For a while we were seeing it in hockey where teams were staying put, but now they're starting to move around a little bit. What do you think about all the movement?
Well, I guess money dictates all that, and there's not much loyalty if you're not making money. I don't like to see movement in sports, but unfortunately that's the way it is. And if an owner can pick up $100 million here, $20 million there, he's got to do it, I guess. And I don't like it, but that's the nature of the game right now.
Let's talk about the Boston Bruins, the team you work for, team you played for. Harry Sinden, he's always had a blue-collar type team. Even when you played, it was, I think, a blue-collar type team. What is going on in Boston? I know right now it seems like the big question mark might be in the pipes.
Well, there's a little problem goal right now. The young goaltender of last year, Blaine Locker, really didn't start this year out the way he finished last year, and so that sort of put a dent into the armor of the Bruins. So it sort of put him in a little trouble position. But Locker's now down playing in Providence in the minors, trying to get his game back together. And as far as the much talked about deal with Edmonton with Curtis Joseph, I don't know where that stands right now. We did get we have been getting good goaltending from Scott Bailey, the young player they called up from Providence. So I don't think Harrison's ready to pull a trigger yet for Joseph.
Scott Bailey's an interesting story, but a kid that I really like, and I got to watch him in juniors, is Kyle McLaren. What happened with him?
Oh, he's been a terrific defenseman for, I forgot, you're from the old Western League, right? Yeah. But Kyle has just been he's been a godsend to the Bruins. He's coming back this week. He hurt his knee, missed a couple of games. But he is right behind Bork and Sweeney. He's our number 3 defenseman. Plays like a veteran player. He's one of the futures of the Boston Bruins.
Well, I saw the game where he went down, and I'm thinking, no, please don't let it be Gord Kluzak all over again, because this guy's your defenseman in the future.
Yeah, it was like a superficial wound, or it wasn't anything in the interior.
Yeah, well, absolutely. What are your thoughts now? I know you don't get out and watch the International League that much, but what do you think of what you see in the product here in the IHL?
I think it's terrific. Tonight's the second game. I'm taking a tour of the International League. I'm going to see about 12 teams in 10 nights, and I'm really enjoying it. I was in Atlanta last night, saw a shootout. I don't think I'll see a shootout here tonight. These are two pretty good goaltenders we're watching tonight, and both these teams are got good veterans that know how to play defense. I'm sure guys at this stage of their career like to open it up and be involved in 9-6 shootouts all the time, but you really still got to try and win the hockey game. But it's a great show, and it's a great thing for young players trying to make it to the NHL, and to players that have been in the NHL and trying to finish their career with some grace.
I need to get one quick comment before I let you go. What is your thought on the Patrick Waugh situation?
Well, you know, I wasn't close to it, and I don't have a good feel for it, but I watched Patrick Waugh play at the start of this year, and I believe, even though I doubt if he'll admit it, that subconsciously he was playing to get out of Montreal. He wasn't playing very well. They had a coaching change. He pricked up a little bit. Come on. Lately he hasn't been playing too good. I think his mindset was to get out of Montreal this year. He just didn't think they were good enough to win a championship, but he's certainly in the right spot for another Stanley Cup.
Jerry, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
All right, Jerry Cheevers joins us in the first intermission. It's 1-0 Cincinnati. We'll have the highlights and the stats after this.
Attention! Stop by McCollum Chevrolet Oldsmobile Dodge today and bring a toy. McCollum will match it with the toy and donate them to Toys for Tots. Plus, at McCollum, get a new car, truck, or van for $39. Yes, $39 buys you a new, used, or program car. Only at McCollum.
Got $39? At McCollum's Pontiac Cadillac GMC, you can get a new car, truck, or van for $2.20 and get $1 back. Plus, bring a toy to McCollum, and they'll match it with a toy and donate them to Toys for Tots. McCollum, where you can get a new car for $39.
The holidays are upon us, a time to be with friends and family, sharing what we love with who we love. Cable in December has a special gift for every member of the family. A weekend of holiday cartoons from TBS. Programs that will make your spirits warmer and your season brighter. Come home to cable for the holidays.
Prime Cable. You can see it all from here.
Sports, Friday at 7, live on Prime Sports.
Our girls earn their wings every day.
Hooters, it's not just a restaurant, it's an adventure.
Welcome back into the Summit. Cyclones lead at 1-0. Adam Gordon along with Mike Greenlay. And I realize that some of our audience listening on KPRC can't see this, but Mike Greenlay, you know, I don't know how many times I told you I don't want you playing with your toys here. What is this?
Well, I don't know. I just thought I'd bring my toys. Actually, no. The wives had a toys.
Hold it up. Let's let everyone
Toys for Tots drive, and it was very successful. They collected like 500 toys, and so it was a good thing. The people brought their toys this morning and tonight, and it was a good thing. It was a good thing. Some kids are gonna have a good Christmas.
You mentioned Christmas, and I want to talk about one thing real quick, and that's Be an Angel Foundation. Dan Patrick's talked about it, KPRC. But I want to congratulate Matt Thomas and Darren Jones, who had a car wash while we were away. They were expecting to raise $5,000. They raised $17,000, and if any of you were part of that, I just want to congratulate everyone and thank everyone. I think that was terrific.
That's great. And now you know where I'm taking my car to be washed. They're so good at it now.
Yeah, I saw Matt Thomas around here somewhere. We'll get him to wash our cars after the game. I mean, boy, 17 grand, that's pretty good. What was pretty good also was that first period, Greener. The Aeros played well. They had as many chances. I'll tell you, and you know, you start with a look at like Mark Freer. What a chance he had in that first period.
Well, the song comes to mind, Missed Opportunity. And Mark Freer really misses one here as he gets a great feed from Lamb, but it just goes off the tip of his stick. He had a wide open side, and a good job by Freer getting in position. He just can't make the mark.
So then the Aeros, they had their chances, couldn't convert, but Dale DeGray does.
On the power play, he certainly does. Gets a good hard shot from the top of the circle. Scott Thomas causing trouble in front, and Troy Gamble, I guess he sees the puck around Scott Thomas, but it's kind of has eyes as it squirts between his pads, and it makes it 1-0.
DeGray is fourth of the year from Paul Lawless. Cyclones led at 1-0. That's all they would get, but play that song once again, more missed chances.
Well, here's a missed chance, this time by Don Biggs in front. He has a couple cracks, and a good job by Gamble. We've seen some good goaltending, and this is the start of it right here as Gamble makes 2 or 3 saves. Finally, the net becomes dislodged. And then at the other end, you have Danny Lorenz. He's making some very big saves, and this was a huge one off of Turgeon. Turgeon gets the feed, and I tell you what, that one was labeled, but not until Lorenz has something to do about it, and he knocks that one aside. This is a great pass, a good job as they work it around. And then Laniel gets a chance, but again, Lorenz is there, and this time he doesn't give a rebound. He smothers it, and he doesn't give any opportunities anymore. So I tell you what, Lorenz really a key in this game. Gamble doing really well. I think the Aeros have to just keep going.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, the Aeros trailing 1-0. I don't think they need to change anything.
They don't. They've put some good pressure on. They've gotten some good opportunities. You just got to convert, like we said.
All right, 1-0 Cincinnati. We'll have more right after this.
Masterpiece Rags, a new attitude in clothing. Make your message one of peace. World peace, family peace, racial peace, inner peace. Masterpiece Rags, it's a way of life.
My life has been a true rags to riches story. So what better way to define my message of peace than Masterpiece Rags? From rags to riches and back to rags. Masterpiece Rags.
Catch the hottest new logo apparel at these fine retailers.
Real people, candid responses. The question, why choose a no-name company for your long distance?
One of my friends says, oh, well, I can get you such and such. It'll save you
8 cents a minute.
I can't remember even what percent they said that I could save.
18 cents a minute.
But do they know what the trade-offs are with a no-name company?
You know, when I have tried to get a hold of them, sometimes I can't.
We haven't had that problem yet.
Sometimes the bills aren't real consistent.
And are they saving on all types of calls?
And I'm not so sure I really save that much.
So my husband complains about, look at all these directory assistance calls.
Introducing AT&T True Reach Savings. Save 25% off every type of U.S. call on your AT&T phone bill, guaranteed when you spend $25 a month.
Just take the 25% off your bill.
Great, because that's more money in my pocket.
I've got True Reach.
To save no matter who you call, how you call, or where you live. Call 1-800-GET-TRUE now and we'll switch you free.
And I'll go with the plan. I'm going to call them.
Savings and service. That's your true choice, AT&T.
I'm Kathy Keating, First Lady of Oklahoma.
And I'm Mayor Ron Norick of Oklahoma City. The outpouring of care and love since the bombing of the Murrah Federal Building has been tremendous.
But we still need your help. That's why we're offering this very special collection benefiting Project Recovery Oklahoma City.
Show your support with A Time of Healing, featuring powerful music from the Oklahoma City Memorial Service. To order, call 1-800-758-9858. That's 1-800-758-9858.
A 1-0 hockey game in favor of the Cincinnati Cyclones, and let's go right to our first period stats. And they're brought to you by your Texas Chrysler Plymouth dealers. Aeros get outshot 12-10 in that period. They won 12 face-offs to 9 in favor of the Cyclones. Both teams had one penalty for 2 minutes. The Aeros find themselves that the Cyclones have actually outscored the Aeros 18-8 in the last 3 games. So let's see if they can turn that around. It's going to be a tough task as they face, as we said, the #1 goaltender in the IHL, Danny Lorenz. And we'll have second period action when we return. Cyclones 1, Aeros 0. The wind blows when we return.
It's that time of year again at your Chevy First Team dealer. Wrap up a great deal on the Neely Style Limina, the Value Price Prism, or the Texas Tough Chevy Full Size. Put one under your tree. That's genuine Chevrolet Texas style.
Hi, I'm Sean Sullivan, General Manager of Bill Hurd Chevrolet in Sugar Land, the only car dealership endorsed by the Houston Rockets, because we do whatever it takes. Bill Hurd Chevrolet and the Houston Rockets would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Pay-per-view is your best way to get Hollywood's top movies delivered right in your own home.
Forgot your boarding pass. Oh, shit.
Martin Lawrence and Will Smith star in the action thriller Bad Boys.
I'm the commander of this ship. Give me that damn key.
Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman face off in the thriller Crimson Tide.
Hit me.
Keanu Reeves is a high-tech courier in the sci-fi hit Johnny Mnemonic. You don't have to go out. Pay-per-view delivers.
Gotcha.
Prime Sports Showcase, the channel of channels. Don't miss classic sports on the Showcase. All of the greatest moments in the history of sports are waiting for you. The Champ, the Yankee Clipper, the Doctor, and the Babe. And that's only the beginning. No sportsman in their right mind can do without classic sports, where all the legends play. Call your cable company to get Prime Sports Showcase, the channel of channels.
It's a 1-0 hockey game in favor of the Cincinnati Cyclones, and I'll tell you what, the holidays are here, folks, and you know what? Let's just take a look at the Houston Aeros new blue jersey. You know, wouldn't one of these look great under the Christmas tree for your favorite sports fan? I'll tell you what, operators are on duty right now waiting to take your order. Just call 713-629-3700. The authentic blue jersey is $200, which includes shipping and handling. The replica is $90, so don't miss out on this great gift idea. 713-629-3700. Now, those are the replicas that you're looking at there for those of you watching on Prime Sports. No, the autographs do not come with it. The beard does not either. Or maybe it does, Greener. Hey,
we'll spill some on there for you.
Give me the update. Are my Mike Greenlay jerseys in yet? Come on.
Not likely.
All right, well, the Aeros and the Cyclones will start this period at 5-on-5. And the story is in the goals once again for the Cyclones. Danny Lorenz, but Troy Gamble, not bad. Gave up the 1 goal. Questionable whether he should have had it, but that's not even the issue. I mean, you know, they do get by him. He had a good period.
Yeah, he did have a very good period. He made some good saves, and he challenged very well. That goal, I mean, it had eyes. I mean, Gamble squeezed the pads. Well, those kind of goals that squeeze between your pads, especially when you're in the butterfly position, they have to be a pretty darn good shot. And Dale DeGray had a good hard shot from the top of the crease. Danny Lorenz with 10 saves so far tonight. Made some unbelievable saves, and we'll see if he can keep that up to keep the Cyclones ahead by 1-0.
Here come the Cyclones now, leading 1-0. Pass at center ice. Hawkins had it knocked away by Laniel, and Turgeon turns it around. Turgeon makes the move. He's in on goal with a shot. Lorenz the save and the rebound. Kicked away. Aeros trying to move it along. Dahlquist tipped it away for Cincinnati. Townsend booms one into the corner. It was LaBelle that's in a tight battle with Sylvain Turgeon, and it's pushed away and shot all the way back to center ice and into Houston Aero territory. 30 seconds gone into the second period. And it's taken by Jake's pass, lobbed down at center ice and shot back into the Aero end. It is Laniel. Turns one out for Turgeon. Turgeon moving up at center ice, skating to the right side, pushed the puck into the Cincinnati zone. Lorenz slows and then escorts it to Dave Marcinishin. Right side, it was cleared by Dobbin. Back to Lenny Esau, forecheck by Lamb, had to go back into his own zone. Aeros forechecking well, coming out strong in the second period. Left side, Yo brings it across the line, shoveled off by Lenny Esau, tries to shake off the check. Yo in a good battle, Cyclones trying to clear it, they cannot, but finally Don Biggs is there, and it's at center ice for Marcinishin. Hits the line, pass, Dobbin, right side, looks in front, he'll shoot one wide of the net. He tried to center one for Marcinishin. A minute and a half gone in the second. Still 1-0 in favor of the Cyclones. Don Biggs rolled one into the Aero end. Back to get it, Carl Valamont. Remember, he started the year in Cincinnati. And the Aero signed him to a 25-game tryout about a week after he was released. Puck is controlled by Don Biggs for Cincinnati. Near circle, has it back to Dobbin. Trying to center one through the slot. It came to the far side. Esau centered one, and Gamble kicked that out of there. Dobbin turned it out in front, and it's pushed away by the Aeros and brought out at center ice. Slivchenko looking for Lamb. Late in the shift, though, wants the line change, and the Aeros making changes on the fly. Puck at center ice, and it's rolled back in by Jeff Greenlaw. And back to play, it is Gord Donnelly. Donnelly from left to right for Houston, carries the puck to center ice, shot it back to the Cincinnati blue line, knocked back by Donnelly, couldn't bring it across the line and picked away by Tomlinson. Pass for Lawless, trying to move in on Valamont, that was rolled away, and Cincinnati turns it around, but the Aeros there to shut down the angle, and now Conroy makes the move, cutting it across the line. Conroy fired it deep into the far corner. Lorenz trying to knock it down. Finally, Lorenz comes out, and it's played by the Cincinnati Cyclones. In behind the net, it is Bob Wilkie. He'll turn it from right to left. Wilkie moves it out to Tomlinson, jammed away, but it came back out at center. Mike Hurlbutt is there. He'll turn it from left to right. Great action to start this period. We've gone just about 3 minutes without a whistle. Life is good. Play to the near side. Lawless trying to turn it down. It came to Arneal. It came out in front, but the Cyclones were there. They'll bust it out to center. 4-on-2. Tomlinson, pass right side. Lawless looks in front. Kicked away by Hurlbutt. And the Aeros are going the other way. Here they come. Arneal. A pass from Luis. Waiting on goal. Shot, stop, rebound. It is kicked away by the Cyclones, and they'll bring it out. Nice save by Lorenz. It's Lawless the other way for Tomlinson. Jammed away by Hurlbutt, and it came out to the line and out at center. We finally get a whistle. Let's take time out. 1-0 Cincinnati. Will be back, but first, fly away with me with this word from Southwest Airlines.
Gotta Go's come in 2 kinds. Not so good.
That too. That's gotta go.
And good.
Got the flowers, Mark. Now, when are you sending you?
Well, for the good kind, Southwest Airlines has Gotta Go fares from $19 on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays.
I'm real lonely.
But hurry, because the going isn't always this good.
Mom, I gotta go!
Southwest, the low-fare airline.
Everything's new at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Even new ways to save. The 96 Buyer's Choice Drive Away. It's your choice. Drive away in the award-winning 1996 Chrysler Cirrus and get 1.9% APR or $500 cash back.
Right here, right now. This is where you want to be.
See what's new at your local Texas Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Welcome back to the Summit. You have a picture there, if you're enjoying this game on Prime Sports, of the Claude, the happy trumpeter. He's real funny. He comes into the games, plays his trumpet, really gets the crowd going for the home team. I know her. I tell you what, he came back. He was in the final game of the Turner Cup playoffs one season. Oh.
Here's a shot that comes into Gamble. You can finish your story in a second as the puck was centered. LaBelle came back to the line. DeGray lets a shot go. That's deflected away. And it's chipped away by Cantos back to the line. DeGray worked it down along the boards. Aeros turn it behind the net, but Mark LaBelle is there. Wrapped up by Laniel. Puck dug out by Hawkins. Sends one in for Cantos. Chris Cantos. Down for LaBelle, watched by Laniel, sidesteps the check, trying to work it down deep in the corner. Good work in the corner by the Cyclones. They're having their way in the corners right now, winning the battles. DiPietro couldn't get it away. Cantos sends a shot in there, and Gamble makes the save and holds on. You can finish your story about Claude the trumpeter.
Well, it was the final game in the Turner Cup Finals in Atlanta against the Fort Wayne Comets, and he comes running down the stairs, and he likes to jump into the glass, and the glass moves. Well, he gave a little too much effort, and he went right through the glass. The play was on, by the way, and he landed right on his head. They had to drag him out in a stretcher. And after we won the Turner Cup, we were all out at having a lot of fun at the bar, and he comes in with his big neck brace on. So I don't know how his evening ended up, but I tell you what, it was kind of a crazy story.
Guys, you know how sometimes you wear a black strap in memory of someone? You guys should have had like a number or a trumpet on your guys' jersey for it.
The only problem is there were no more games left in the season to do that with.
Puck is shot out at center ice and back into the Cincinnati zone. 4 minutes gone in the second and a 1-0 Cincinnati lead. Puck goes down the ice. Icing indicated as Valamont will go back to touch and play is whistled down. Hey, don't forget to join us again Wednesday night for more IHL hockey action when Houston takes on the Atlanta Knights. Aeros have beaten the Knights 2 times in 3 meetings, including a win in the Omni last month. Game 4 is Wednesday night in Atlanta. Don't miss the action right here on Prime Sports and KPRC Radio. And now one other thing I do want to remind everybody, coming up after the hockey game tonight, you can call in and talk to Mike Greenlay and I right on KPRC Radio. We'll take your calls and we'll chat about hockey in general. We had a question about Patrick Waugh. We don't care if it's the NHL or the IHL, but we look forward to taking your calls.
If we know it, we'll say it. If we don't, we'll eventually find out for you. Yeah.
We'll fake it. We'll fake it.
We'll pretend we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, isn't that what we do now? Puck is controlled by, come on, Greener, get in the game. Puck goes down the ice. Icing once again for Cincinnati as Valamont touches, and they'll bring the face-off back into the Cincinnati zone. Don't forget the phone number that you can call is 777-5772. Following the hockey game, don't call it now, but following the hockey game, 777-5772. Plus Star KPRC is a free call for those of you on GTE Mobile and Affordable Cellular. They get a lot of response, and it's good to see the fans taking.
I tell you what, there's some really good questions, questions that I guess I didn't expect. Some really hard-hitting questions, I'd like to say.
And we encourage those.
Oh, they are, because I tell you what, that shows the fans are really starting to get a good knowledge of this game.
About that.
And I tell you what, once you come out, you'll come back.
Yeah, y'all come back now. Absolutely. It's back to the Aeros zone. Near side, Slivchenko. He's handed off the puck by Bergeron. It came down behind the net. It was centered by Dobbin, knocked away by Donnelly, and it's turned to the near side by Slivchenko. It couldn't clear the zone. Biggs in a battle with Slivchenko. Puck to the line. Marcinishin held it in. Lamb couldn't muscle it out of the zone. It came back down low. Gamble throws gives to Donnelly. He's bumped by Biggs. It came to Yo. Couldn't clear the zone, and he was sandwiched by a couple of Cyclones and still managed to gather in the puck. Lost it to Biggs, though. And the Aeros trying to dig it free. There's Yo again. What a job he's doing along the boards, folks. Doesn't have any scoring chances except one. And other than the battling along the boards has been terrific for Mike Yo. We're going to get an icing call on the Houston Aeros. Back to touch Dave Marcinishin. We talked about him playing for Milwaukee last year. Big rugged defenseman. He along with Brian Dobbin. He's a fine acquisition for Cincinnati.
And you talk about play along the boards. You talked about Mike Yo, but everyone really working along the boards a lot tonight. Both ends. It seems like both teams are trying to win that war right there along the boards, working it around, cycling quite a bit. It looks like both coaches, including Smith, that looks like their game plan or something. But I tell you what, you win that, well, you win the battle along the boards, and you eventually get some scoring chances. You make good on them. The face-offs. Aeros are leading those 15-11, and that, again, is another important thing that the Aeros have to continue doing well.
Face-off won by Cincinnati this time. Lawless jammed it behind the Aero net. It's turned away by Donnelly, and it's back to the line. That's O'Connor. Looked like 34 for a second. It's Miles O'Connor who got it out to the line, and he'll finally get it back and turn it to center ice for Mike Hurlbut. Jammed it into the Aero, or into the Cincinnati zone. Here comes Conroy, cutting in, winding, turning, shooting. Oh, and that just went wide of the net. He had Lorenz leaning to his left and let the shot go to his right, but it just went wide of the net. O'Connor in his own zone tipped away by Lawless and then knocked down off the puck. Here's a pass in front. Dwayne Joyce right in, score! Dwayne Joyce, and it's a 2-0 Cincinnati lead.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joyce comes in. As we said before, he's second in the league for defensemen in scoring. That's his 9th goal of the season, and that puts him up to 25 points on the year. And he gets the puck all alone. Miles O'Connor takes down Lawless, and Joyce just comes around and makes a move, and he just fires it far corner. And Gamble didn't seem to get the read on that one as it went right inside the post. And what a good hard shot as Joyce walks in unmolested, and he makes it 2-0. Cincinnati Cyclones lead.
Puck is picked up again by Cincinnati, and out at center ice, Lawless shoots it into the Aero end. Out of the net, Troy Gamble Flipped along the board. Tomlinson couldn't control, but here's Joyce again, the drive, and it's stuck aside by Gamble. It's pushed back to the line, not out. Wilkie, the drive, hammered wide, came back to the far side, and finally Arneal scoops it out at center ice. Aeros in a foot race. Lorenz will come out to play it, and he'll shoot it off the glass, knocked down by Arneal, and it turned back out at center ice. Arneal trying to push it into the zone, knocked away by Tomlinson. A pass goes too far for Wallace, and the Cyclones will make changes. His back is Mark Laniel, the former Cincinnati Cyclone. Pass out to center for Maurice, trying to scoop one ahead for Turgeon. Sylvain Turgeon turning back at his own blue line. Turgeon harassed by Cantos, give it to Laniel. It'll bounce into the Cincinnati end, tipped away by Lorenz, and the play is whistled down as you get a look at Daniel Lorenz. But a moment ago, Dwayne Joyce getting a goal. I want to tell you an interesting story about Dwayne Joyce when you look at last year's numbers. Dwayne Joyce, the best years that he had were in Kalamazoo, where he had 44 points back-to-back seasons in 90-91 and 91-92. Last year he had 30 points in 70 games for the Kansas City Blades. Here he's got his 9th, and as you touched upon, Greener, that 9th goal of the year, along with 60 assists, 25 points, and we're barely a quarter into the season.
Yeah, he's really doing well for the Cincinnati Cyclones, and I tell you what, I think the defensemen alone for the Cincinnati Cyclones account for 28% of their scoring. So that's a lot of scoring by the defensemen, and I'm sure it's welcomed, a welcomed addition to the Cyclones' game plan.
Here's a pass to the right side. Pietro hits the line, looks in front. His pass to Turgeon. Turgeon tried to center, but he gave it right to LaBelle. And here come the Cyclones. 2-on-1 LaBelle with Hawkins. Ready to go! Gamble save. And then Dahlquist came smoking in there, and he was dumped by Laniel. Puck into the corner. It's gobbled up by the Aeros, and finally Gamble will cover up. He will hold on. 12:34 to go in the second period. Cincinnati 2, Aeros nothing. Back right after this.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium were formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving, to give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car! Take it to the star!
It's Las Vegas Casino Corner. 2-in-1 poker and 7-card stud, or 2-in-1 blackjack and poker. They're the only portable games that let you play just like the casinos, with more than 25 different games. Las Vegas Casino Corner. For real casino action, nothing else comes close.
Everything's bigger in Texas, and nothing's larger in the Lone Star State than high school sports. Prime Sports High School Extra and host Craig Wade bring all the action right into your living room.
On the Extra, Sundays at 9:30 and 6:30, only on Prime Sports.
2-0 Cincinnati Cyclones lead, and Turgeon turns the puck over deep into his zone, and away comes LaBelle, and he has streaking with him player, but I tell you what, it's centered, and I tell you what, I think Gamble was expecting more of a pass than a shot, and he just got his legs closed in time as he keeps the score 2-0.
Puck is in the arrow end. Donnelly turns it behind the net, worked it out for Yo, and he'll skate it up and out to center ice. Yo with Freer and Lamb. Yo across the Cincinnati blue line, trying to cut in with a shot. That was deflected away. Marcinishin clear to the line, not out. It's Marcinishin again. Yo trying to dig it out. And now Yo turning base in the left circle, watched by Esau. It came to the near side. Into the boards, a good solid check by Freer. And it's at center ice. It is Marcinishin. Pass right side, Dobbin trying to move in. Lamb was there, and he'll skate it out at center ice. Mark Lamb hits the line. Lamb turning down the left side. Lamb trying to center one, it went right through the crease. Here's a chance. Donnelly turned it away, and here come the Cyclones. 3-on-2 at center ice. Biggs a crossover. Thomas back. Greenlaw, his shot wide. Oh, and a marvelous chance for Biggs, and then the net becomes dislodged. So I don't know if the net had come off before Biggs had a chance or not, but regardless, the Aeros dodge a bullet there.
And I tell you what, the Cyclones really worked that 3-on-2 well, but they just missed the net on the shot.
Pizza Hut delivers Houston Aeros hockey. Order a pizza from Pizza Hut and have it delivered to your home. You'll receive a coupon good for 4 Aeros tickets, 4 personal pan pizzas, and 4 16-ounce soft drinks at the Summit for just $40. Pizza Hut, delivering hot stuff for hockey fans.
And I tell you what, we're talking about that 3-on-2, and they really moved it around well. You'll see that Hawkins will pass it over, then he'll drive to the net, and that'll cause Donnelly to have to turn and go with him, giving a wide open shot.
Well, it hit Donnelly.
And it did, so he does two jobs in one as he blocks it and he goes to the right man. That's a perfect way to play a 3-on-2, is give someone, that extra man, the extra shot.
Here's Maurice turning it into the Cincinnati end. Lorenz comes to slow it. Aeros moving along. Maurice to the near side for Miles O'Connor in a battle down low with Paul Lawless. And here is Dwayne Joyce, who has the second goal of the game for Cincinnati. Puck back to the line. Hurlbut held it in, but Lawless turns it out at center ice. And here's another 2-on-2 rush across the line. It's turned by Scott Thomas. Right wing boards. Thomas jammed it back down. Tomlinson. Tomlinson, base of the right circle, looks in front. Tomlinson still with it. Tomlinson turning a shot, stuck aside by Gamble, and he will hold on to it with 10:57 to go in the second period. And Cincinnati leads it by a score of 2-0.
Good job by Tomlinson behind the net. Miles O'Connor went after the body, which he should, and Tomlinson, the next man into the zone, came after the puck, and then Miles O'Connor gets back into the play, but not before Tomlinson gets a good shot on goal. Gamble makes a stick save and smartly freezes it up, and that'll bring a face-off to the right of Troy Gamble. And Tomlinson, last year second in the IHL in scoring, so you got to watch a guy like that. He likes to put the puck in the net.
This line is so volatile. Tomlinson with Lawless and Thomas. They've got speed, they've got touch, they've got finish. You don't mind if they have to go into the corner a little bit. What more do you want?
Well-rounded, I tell you what.
All right, face off to the right side of Troy Gamble. Quickly, we do have one score to update you on. In the third period, Orlando and Vegas are tied at 3. Remember, Vegas will be here Saturday. So the Aeros go from the best to the east to the best to the west. And you can see all the action right here at the Summit. Here is Dave Tomlinson for Cincinnati. Bangs one ahead. It was Scott Thomas. Then Lawless was checked from behind by Hurlbut. Could have been a penalty, but play goes on. Lawless right side. Lawless trying to shake off a check that was jammed away. And Turgeon clears it out at center ice for Townsend. He's scraped by Wilkie. And back is Dwayne Joyce. And now we're going to get a penalty. I don't know if it was on Cincinnati. I don't think Bob Wilkie likes this call.
I think Wilkie's going to get a call for dragging down, dragging down Townsend. But, you know, earlier than that, you saw what happened to along the boards there. And Townsend, it looks like he's being held on the play. He can't get his stick loose, and that's why the call was made. But earlier on that play, you saw Lawless get hit from behind. And the reason that wasn't called is because Lawless had just turned around before Hurlbut got in there. But that was a good call right there. As I love the way they put their hands up in the air and saying, "What? Who, me?" But Bob Wilkie is not happy with it, but he'll still go to the box for holding for 2 minutes. And this will give the Aeros a chance to try and get back into this game.
You know, while we've got a second here, I want to talk about something. I've just been handed a press release right from the IHL. It says here in the headline, Minnesota Moose ownership obtains approval for transfer to Winnipeg. And I'll read the first line to you. It says here, the International Hockey League Board of Governors on Thursday approved a request by the Moose owners Kevin McLean and Roger Sturgeon to relocate their franchise to Winnipeg. It would take place at the conclusion of this season. When we get a next chance after a whistle here, we'll talk about that. Aeros on the power play, trying to get into this hockey game, down by a score of 2-0. It's taken by Cincinnati, cleared to the line out at center ice. Jakes has to regroup. And Laniel is there to the right side for Mark Lamb. Cross ice pass, DiPietro trying to move it down the left side. Came behind the net for Freer. Bumps one over to Lamb, base of the right circle. It comes to the line for Jakes. Couldn't hold the puck in though, and it's out at center ice. Laniel, and he turned it right over to Dahlquist, and it goes right back down the ice. Aero passing, struggling a little bit here.
Well, they gotta move up the ice as a group and utilize that extra man. And right now they're a little too far spread out.
They don't have a lot of jump right now. Here's a pass in front. They just don't have the jump that we saw in the first period, especially what we saw Tuesday night. I'll tell you what, right now I'm seeing two different teams compared to what we saw Tuesday. The Aeros played very much well enough to win Tuesday. Here's a shot deflected away. Came behind the net. Jakes is there. And Jakes will turn it with 9.5 to go in the second period. Here's DiPietro, pass to the right side for Lamb. He'll hit the line with Freer and DiPietro, turning in front. Lamb centered one, but it went wide. To the far side, Laniel, get it back, DiPietro. Give it, bouncing puck to Laniel. It came down in the corner. Esau cleared it to the line, not out. Laniel getting set for O'Connor. The one-time shot, banned on it. And Cincinnati will clear it. Greenlaw moves it up, though. Greenlaw across the line, 2-on-1. Here's Big shooting, scoring! Arrows were very sloppy getting back into the play. There was only Mark Laniel, a short-handed goal, and the Cyclones lead it 3-0.
Well, I tell you what, Miles O'Connor went for the shot, and he just got a piece of it, and then I believe the Arrows started to change a little bit. That is in personnel, and away they came. I tell you what, Greenlaw with a 2-on-1. It was a 3-on-1, but Arneal got back, but Biggs gets the puck. And I tell you what, no chances. He gets it right under the bar.
I said Laniel didn't get back or got back. It was O'Connor that was back. Laniel tried to get back.
Right, and Arneal was back checking, and it ended up a 2-on-1, and Biggs, I tell you what, he had a lot of time. It was a good 2-on-1. They were nice and wide, and it was a good pass right on his stick, and Biggs made no doubt about that one, and Don Biggs gets his 11th goal of the season.
Here is Mike Hurlbut, who hammers one into the Cincinnati zone. Lorenz bats it down. Dahlquist pounded in there, and the Cyclones clear it out at center ice, and Miles O'Connor will hustle back. O'Connor in his own end. He'll turn a pass to the right side for Al Conroy. He'll bring it across the line for Arneal, cutting in, couldn't get a shot away. And now Conroy centered one, but nobody in front. The Cincinnati Cyclones turn it around. Lawless across the line with Tomlinson. Lawless trying to turn it down, but it came into the corner, and it's there for Mike Hurlbut. Hurlbut hammered one off the boards for Arneal, and he'll turn one for Conroy. It goes into the Cincinnati zone, base in the right circle. Townsend trying to center one. It went right off Lorenz and ricocheted out at center ice. 8:09 to go in the second period. 3-0 Cincinnati. Jakes got it into the Cyclone zone, and it's cleared all the way down by Dale DeGray. Gamble comes out of the net to play it, pursued by Hawkins. Gamble will reverse it to the near side for Jakes, and he'll bump it back out to center ice. It's been a power play goal, a shorthanded goal, and an even strength goal for Cincinnati. The Arrows, they mustered some chances in the first. I'm kind of interested to see the shot totals in this second period alone. I don't see the Arrows putting really much on Danny Lorenz thus far in the second period. Lorenz working along the boards, knocked down Turgeon. Hawkins pushed it away, and it's back out at center ice. Hurlbut ripped it into the Cincinnati zone. Wilkie in behind the net, and it's shot back out at center ice.
Sometimes the best time to get a good flurry of shots on a goalie is right when he hasn't had a lot of action, and Lorenz hasn't. Right now would be a good time for the Arrows to pick it up and get some shots on goal. He might be a little cold.
Puck goes into the Arrow end, and Mike Hurlbut is back. A pass off the skates of Maurice. Dwayne Joyce at center to shoot it back ahead, but here's Chris Kantos. He had to turn back toward his own blue line for Mark Sinishin. Mark Sinishin shoots it into the Arrow zone, and Miles O'Connor is there with under 7 minutes to play in the second period. 3-0 hockey, and O'Connor forechecked by LaBelle. Hurlbut back to the near side. Slams one to the line, and Slivchenko will skate it out. Here's Turgeon, 2-on-1 with Maurice. Turgeon getting in front, couldn't center it though, went right off Esau. And the Cyclones turn it around. Boy, the crowd is starting to get a little frustrated with the Arrows right now. Here is Kantos at center ice, gently rolled the puck into the Arrow end, and back is Carl Valamont. Valamont moves it up and out of his zone. Forechecked by Bergeron, sidesteps the check, brings it across the line, lets the shot go, and Lorenz makes the save. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if he's been facing shots or hasn't. He looked sharp there, Greener.
He did look very solid on that one, kicking it on the side.
It is Mark Freer. He'll turn it right side. Freer trying to move it down along the boards. Marcinishin bumped him in there. The puck came out in front, but it was blocked by the Cyclone defense, which is played like a Cyclone fence. Puck is in behind the net. Marcinishin watched by Freer. It came to the far side for Dobbin. DiPietro punches him up there along the boards. Finally, the Arrows come away with it. DiPietro spins it down for Freer. Looks in front. He's behind the cage, and then bumped by Lenny Esau. They grind it out behind the cage. Yo is there, and Yo will turn with 5:42 to go. Second period, 3-0 Cincinnati. Lorenz comes out to play it away. Chipped it near side. Jakes was pitching and pounded by Bergeron. And Cincinnati came away with it. Bergeron drilled in there by Slivchenko. But the Arrows hold it in. Jakes right side, but finally Marcinishin cleared it. Marcinishin giving it to Freer right in front of the Arrow bench. Donnelly bumps it in, and Donnelly gave a bit of a shot to one of the Cyclones behind the play, Bergeron, and finally a whistle stopped the play, and we take a timeout. 3-0 Cincinnati, 5:17 to go back after this.
Is a superstar spokesman what makes Oshman's Super Sports USA? Dream on. Oshman's is supersized and super fun. Why, you can play your favorite sport right in the store. Shoot hoops, hit golf balls, swing a bat, or a racket. Or get your kick to 100 other fun ways. Think there's a more super sports store than Oshman's Super Sports? In your dreams. The dream starts at Oshman's with 13 Houston area locations.
When you need an auto part, you don't need to search high and low.
I didn't want to mess up.
He wasn't real comfortable.
Had to pick up a master cylinder my dad called in.
I had it already. Some brake fluid, too.
The little guy was cool.
Wanted to make sure he wouldn't have to come back.
Dad thought the brake fluid was my idea.
He could get a master cylinder anywhere. What he needed was high-low.
.5:17 to go in the second period. 3-0 Cincinnati, Greener. And hey, how about a tip of the hat to Donnelly?
Well, Donnelly gets the puck, and he's eventually fires it into the zone. And on his follow-through, he tips a little bit of the hat of number 14, Bergeron. And that's what the argument was before the break there, and nothing came of it as both teams stay even strength. And I don't think that was on purpose. Donnelly, you can see it in slow motion, but you realize when the play is going, he follows through with the stick, and then he brings the stick back down. By then, Bergeron was in on the play, and a little bit of the helmet comes off a little bit, but nothing serious. And Bergeron, actually, you know, I can see the bench right now, and he is cut. He's bleeding, and they're attending to him. And I think that's what the big argument was, because even inadvertently, if you get cut, you're supposed to call a 2-minute or a 4-minute penalty.
Puck is in the Cincinnati zone, and it's rolled to the far side, and it's Scott Thomas off his pads of Tomlinson. It came out at center, and Hurlbut jammed it ahead, but that was over 2 lines, and they'll bring the face-off back.
And now
we're going to take a quick timeout here. Under 5 to go in the second period. 3-0 is Cincinnati. Back after this.
Let's look at the Magnum Power Sales Event one word at a time. Magnum, as in Magnum Engines, as in Dodge Ram, ranked most appealing pickup by J.D. Power & Associates. Power, overall the most powerful line of truck engines on the planet. Sales, save on 5.2 and 5.9 liter V8s up to $670 or $500 on Cummins diesel. And event, it's the first time America's hottest pickups have ever been on sale like this. At the Texas Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
Texaco has joined the Aero Force. It's time for you to experience Houston Aeros Pro Hockey, and Texaco has your ticket. Stop by participating Houston area Texaco locations. Fill up with 8 gallons of clean System 3 gasoline and get a special coupon for a free hockey ticket when you buy one. Available only at Texaco. Experience sticks swinging, pucks flying, bodies crashing with Houston Aeros Hockey today. Houston Aeros Pro Hockey and Texaco. Take it to the star.
Cincinnati 3-0 lead over the Houston Aeros. And Mark Lamb, Al Conroy, and Scott O'Neill out there to try and get the doldrums out of this hockey team. They came out in the first period, created some chances, but this second period, once again, has been their dismay. Puck is at center ice. Here is Lawless. Rolled one into the arrow end, and Gamble comes out to slow it. And Mike Hurlbut back to play it. Hurlbut playing peekaboo right now with Scott Thomas. He'll roll a puck to the left side for Lamb. Stutters out to center ice. And work one ahead for Conroy. Goes into the Cincinnati zone. Conroy far side, bumped by Dahlquist. Conroy trying to jam one down, fighting for it. Arneely tried to center it. It hit skates. DeGray was there. DeGray had it knocked away by Conroy. Give it to Lamb. The shot stopped high by Lorenz. And it is DeGray again. Long lead pass at center for Thomas. Couldn't find the handle. And then it's taken back by Lawless. Cutting in. Centered the drive. Hammered just wide by DeGray. Wow. Now the Aeros turning at center. Lamb couldn't find the handle. And the Cyclones turn it around. Tomlinson past the right side for Thomas. Cuts right in on goal with a shot stopped by Gamble. Nice save there. Centered again. It ricocheted off O'Connor's skate. And cuts over to the near side of Mike Hurlbut. Clears one out at center for a breaking Turgeon. Turgeon skating right in on goal. He shoots, makes it, rebound, they score! I think it was Freer on the rebound. And it is a 3-1 hockey game.
And I tell you what, Lorenz is arguing the goal right now because Turgeon was in the net when they scored, but to no avail because it was the Cyclone player that tripped Turgeon that caused them to go into the net. and Freer comes up with a goal as Turgeon drives the net. Joyce trips Turgeon, and Turgeon can't do anything but slide into Lorenz, and it knocks him right out of the net. But Freer, following up nicely, puts the puck into the net, and a good job by the Aeros following up on the play. I tell you what, that's what the Aeros need to do, is drive to the net. And Turgeon does so. Freer follows up on the play, and he scores. He hasn't scored in a while, Adam, but he makes it a good one here, and then brings the Aeros within 2. And Mark Freer gets his 5th goal of the season.
And Turgeon will get an assist. Turgeon has just 1 goal in his last 16 games, but if he's going to get helpers like that, I don't think they mind. Puck is back into the Cincinnati zone. Let's see if that adds a little jump to the Houston Aeros. Turgeon turns it back at center, rolled it into the Cincinnati zone. Pushed away by Hawkins. It goes into the Aero end. Jakes trying to roll one ahead. You know, that play was a good indication of really the speed that Turgeon, I think, all too much doesn't show.
Yeah, he did definitely, and it shows a style of hockey that the Aeros have to play. Drive to the net, get the rebound, and that was a perfect example of what they need to keep doing.
Puck is turning in the Cincinnati zone. It's back out at center ice. The Aeros turn it around. Townsend, he'll turn it down in behind the net, but it's picked up by Hawkins. Hawkins trying to clear, and Freer takes the body and puts him in there. To the line, held in Valamont. Spins it down for Sylvain Turgeon. Turgeon centered for Townsend. The shot blocked. Rebound. They score! Second goal of the game. Second goal of the shift. And it's a 3-2 lead for Cincinnati. Here come the Aeros.
And I tell you what, it started out by good play down in the Cyclone zone. And I tell you what, Townsend gets the puck in front of the net. He almost scores on his gun, as Lorenz had a little bit of trouble with it on the stick. But the rebound goes right to Freer, and he's in the right spot. You see Townsend get a good low shot, and I think Lorenz didn't know where it was, but the rebound goes right onto Freer's stick. That's 2 in a row for Freer, and so in one shift, Freer gets his 5th and 6th goals, respectively, and a good job as the Turgeon starts it out. Freer finishes off once again.
Puck is back in behind the Cincinnati zone, and Marcinich will start it up. Now, if this doesn't give the Aeros life, somebody please tell me what will. Puck at center ice. Cyclones turn it around. Dobbin dropped it back. Here is Greenlaw. Now, if you're Houston, don't give one up here, because you know Cincinnati's got that capability coming right back. Here's Greenlaw, the shot blocked by DiPietro, and the Aeros turn it around. Yo rumps to center. Rink wide pass Maurice, but it's off his stick. And out of the net it is Lorenz. He will cover up and hold on. So basically, the Aeros, in a matter of about a minute, come up with a couple of goals. And Mark Freer, the man, and Steve Sumner, what's he telling him? Look at Sudsy wearing the headset. What is that?
He's probably giving him a little bit of flack of some kind, but I tell you what, Mark Freer's got to be real happy with himself. He hasn't been able to find that net, and now he gets a couple of Christmas gifts as he worked hard to get into the right position, and by doing so, he's rewarded with a couple of good goals. And I tell you what, good job by Turgeon on that play as well, and Townsend getting that, standing in front of the net, not being able to be moved out, does a good job as well. So the Aeros doing a good job, and they score a couple goals to bring them within 1. That's going to be huge going into the 3rd period. We'll see if they can get another one with 2:21 left in the 2nd period.
Faceoff controlled by Cincinnati, wrapped to the line. O'Connor held it in, a centering pass turned around by Tomlinson and banged out at center. And Lawless trying to bring it in. It goes into the Aeros zone. It's going to be Gamble that slows up, and he will hold on to the puck with 2:06 remaining in the 2nd period. Aeros next action Saturday night right here, but I'll tell you what, it's Saturday night on ice as the Aeros, UPN 20 and KPRC present Saturday night on ice. Thunder and the Aeros from the Summit at 7 o'clock. Be sure to join us on UPN 20, or if not, you can catch it on KPRC. But you know what? I can think of one better place we'd rather see it. Right here.
Right here live. I tell you what, you can't beat the live action, the sound, the smell of the arena. I tell you what, the fast skating. I tell you what, they'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge of it.
Oh, you are the worst. Greener, if that was original, I'd give you credit, but that thing is as old as your jacket and tie. I mean, come on. Where'd you come up with that? Puck's in center ice. Gosh, I hope the Aeros score here so I can just forget about that one. Here's Conroy moving in with a shot, and once again, Lorenz was out of position on the rebound, but the Aeros couldn't jump on it. Lawless, left side, center to pass. Dahlquist moving in, the shot blocked, and Arneal is back to take over with 1:40 to go in the period. Scott Arneal He'll gallop the center ice. Can the Aeros get one to tie it up? Arneal across the line. Oh, blocked by DeGray. Here come the Cyclones. 3-on-2. Tomlinson to DeGray, ready to goal. He will shoot. Oh, what a save by Gamble. He will hold on with a glove, and wow, Troy Gamble comes up with perhaps a huge save that keeps his team in the hockey game.
I tell you what, talk about stepping up on the play. DeGray does just that, and he has a wide open chance as he walks right in. Gamble makes a good save, and then he picks the puck out of the air. And DeGray had a lot of time here to make a move, and he did. And Gamble gets the pad on it. The puck goes in the air, and he sweeps it around and freezes the puck. A good save, especially at the time of the period. With 1:23 left in the period, you don't want to give the Cyclones any momentum going into that second intermission.
Face off to the left side of Troy Gamble. Freer, Townsend, and Turgeon. Could Terry Ruskowski have found a new combination? He's been trying all year to find a line for Mark Freer, who has had the troubles this season. But boy, if he can get 2 goals in a minute, imagine if this might be the line for him. Here is Mike Hurlbut near side. He'll bang it off the boards. It came out at center ice. It's out along the right side for Dwayne Joyce. Santos tries to move it in. Here is Townsend, who wraps one out at center. It was blocked away. Cyclones trying to turn it, and Freer had it.
And it's a high stick, believe it or not. It was batted under the other blue line, I think, by Townsend. Freer was standing there and catches it as it lands at the red line, and it'll be a high sticking call, and it'll come back just outside the Aero zone. Mark Freer showing some explosiveness there as he gets a couple goals within about a minute span, and doing a good job. And once again, you know, it's positioning. And Freer was in the right place at the right time. And when a player's playing good, he always seems to be in the right spot. That's because he goes to the net.
Under a minute to go in the second period, a 3-2 hockey game. Aeros have the puck in their own end. Jakes looks to move it out left side. Now try it out the far boards. It is Turgeon to center. Sylvain Turgeon dumps the puck into the corner. Freer's got it right side. Cuts in with a bouncing puck. Couldn't reach the loose puck. And Cincinnati's got it. Dwayne Joyce looking out of center, but the Aeros are back. Mike Hurlbut, quick pass turned by Turgeon. Can he get it to DiPietro? Yes, but it was rolled away. And into the Cincinnati zone. Lorenz comes out to play it. Aeros making changes on the go. They had 6 men on the ice, but they got lucky. I think they got away with one. Puck is back in the Cincinnati zone. And the Cyclones turning Hawkins for Contos block. DiPietro came back and hands it to Carl Valamont. To O'Connor, right back for Valamont. Trying to move it in, he lost the handle, and the Cyclones turn it around. Here they come 2-on-2. Contos across the line, looking for Greenlaw, and Contos is going to draw a penalty on the Houston Aeros.
Miles O'Connor gets a little too much stick wrapped around Contos. Contos cuts across. Valamont got caught up on the play, but he does get back. A good job by Miles O'Connor because he points out, hey, you take that side. But then when Contos cuts across, Miles O'Connor goes water skiing a little bit there as he hooks onto Contos, and then he'll get the penalty.
Here's a smart play by Ron Smith. He's going to pull Danny Lorenz because he knows in 1.3 seconds the Aeros are not going to score because the puck has to cross the line before the buzzer. So in 1.3 seconds, I don't even think the Aeros could bat it out of midair. So they're going to go with an extra attacker because in 1.3 seconds, you can get a quick shot off.
Yeah, but yeah, right. Conversely, you can get a shot and score down in this end quite easily on right off the faceoff. So it's going to be kind of
face off to the left side of Campbell. So it goes Biggs, Greenlaw, Dobbin, Contos, Esau, and DeGray. The net is empty for 1.3 seconds, but DiPietro wins it, and it's all academic. I'll tell you, the way DeGray rips that puck, though, if he could have gotten it back, perhaps get a chance on Troy Gamble. But the Aeros were down by a score of 3-0. But a little grit, a little determination, and 2 goals by Mark Freer have them within 1. It's 3-2 Cincinnati, and we'll have more right after this.
Hey, Remington, shave this.
If you can grow it, we can shave it. The newest Remington Triple Foil, the only shaver with 3 micro screens, now has a 50% greater cutting rate with a more powerful motor. And 3 flexible foils for those hard-to-shave places on hard-to-shave faces. So make it this smooth, this comfortable, and this close. The new Remington Triple Foil. If you can grow it, we can shave it.
Are you sure MCI's friends and family plans always save you money?
I'm with MCI, and I really don't know what kind
kind of savings I'm getting.
It's always been a mystery to me.
Are you saving on all the calling card collect and other calls on your bill?
I don't really get savings on my calling card.
I get collect calls, and I'm getting ready to check on it because it's ridiculous.
Now you can be sure you're saving 25%, no matter who, where, or what kind of call you make in the U.S. Introducing AT&T True Reach Savings. It's free. Call now.
That would be great because it would cover my long-distance calls from home. You can use your card, you can use your fax, you can use your cellular phone.
Only AT&T True Reach Savings gives you 25% off every type of call, no matter who you call when you spend just $25 a month.
Call anyone you want from wherever you want and save 25%. That's easy.
If you're still with friends and family, you could be missing savings on many of your calls. Call 1-800-GET-TRUE to find out how to get savings on every call on your AT&T phone bill.
I can't believe I've been this lazy so long.
I'm going to call them.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
People tend to judge who we are by what we wear, which gives great meaning to the choices one makes at fanfare. Because while our selection is perfect for backing the home team, there will always be those who root for the underdog.
A 3-2 hockey game in favor of the Cincinnati Cyclones. The Aeros were down by a score 3-0, but tell you what, the line of Mark Freer, Sylvain Turgeon, Graham Townsend sparking the Aeros, and they are within one at 3-2, and we'll see what happens when we get to the third period. But right now, our topic tonight is chest pain, and we take time out for good health. 3-2 hockey game in favor of the Cincinnati Cyclones, along with Mike Greenlay, Adam Gordon with you. Boy, I'll tell you what, it was beginning to look like Aeros weren't going to be up to the task. They had a really rough, really first, I'd say 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden in a minute span, Mark Freer put an end to everything.
Well, he certainly did, and so did the whole line. I mean, I tell you what, the Aeros were kind of lulling themselves into a sleep, and maybe it was the Cincinnati Cyclones too, because both teams weren't getting a lot of shots on goal, a lot of mid-zone play. But I tell you what, that one little section there near the end of the period, which is what you wanted to see, that line came out and it really did the job.
Is the flow of the game to the liking right now for Houston?
I think so. I mean, you saw the first period, they were right in the game. A good fast-paced game. That's the kind of game the Aeros have to play. We saw them play well against Detroit that way. And then the second period where they got into that lull, that's when they got in trouble. So I think a good fast-paced game is just what the Aeros need.
Cincinnati was leading 1-0 after a period, but boy, they sure went to work in the second period.
Well, they certainly did. I tell you what, it started off with this play right here, and a good move here, and inside the post by Joyce. Great shot as he gets in all alone, and I tell you what, Miles O'Connor takes his man at the point, but the puck is swept away, and Joyce just he makes a great move around the defenseman, and he just walks in, he puts it right inside the post. Actually, it looked like it might even have gone 5-hole. That made it 2-0.
Joyce is 9th of the year at .550. Lawless getting the only assist. It was 2-0 Cyclones. Then the Aeros on the power play. Big mistake. They get scored on short-handed.
Well, certainly. I mean, you get Lawless walking down. He feeds it, or sorry, Greenlaw. He feeds it to Biggs, and I tell you what, Biggs put that right underneath the bar. No chance for Gamble on that one as he slides across, but a great 2-on-1 for Cincinnati. Biggs gets it on back behind, but he pulls it to the front, and I tell you what, there's not too many goals you can stop that one.
And we talked about it. Biggs getting the short-handed goal, 11th of the year from Greenlaw. It's 3-0 Cincinnati, and we're wondering what is going to take for the Aeros to get back. Well, let's see if maybe Sylvain Turgeon can utilize his speed.
He did. He utilized it, and he went to the net, and so did Freer, and Freer gets rewarded on that one as he walks in. I tell you what, they were even when they got to the blue line, but Sylvain Turgeon turned on the speed, and because he was tripped by Joyce and knocks Lorenz out of the net, Freer gets credit for the goal.
Freer, his 5th at 16-11. Turgeon and Mike Hurlbut making his debut, getting an assist, 3-1 Cincinnati. And then it'll be Freer again. This time Townsend gets it going.
And Sylvain Turgeon starts it right before that, gets it to Townsend. Townsend gets a good shot. I think Lorenz didn't know where it was right after that. And Freer, right in the catbird seat, he chips that one right up into that. That's his second goal of the period. But I tell you what, Townsend, good job. He gets it. He doesn't waste any time, and he shoots it. Lorenz doesn't know where the rebound went. But I tell you what, Mark Freer sure did.
And he gets his second of the period, second of that same shift at 16-11. Graham Townsend, Sylvain Turgeon getting the assist. The Cyclones still lead at 3-2. We talked about the way Danny Lorenz was playing goal. Hey, Troy Gamble had his moments as well.
He certainly did. Dale DeGray stepped up in the play, and he gets a good chance, makes a good shot on goal, and Gamble just snatches that one out of the air after making a great pad save. So a good job by Gamble.
And that's a big, big save for Troy Gamble. Why? Because the Cyclones had found themselves only leading by 1, and then they came back, had a couple of great scoring opportunities. So I thought it was really important for Troy Gamble to make that save.
It's always important for a goalie to make a save near the end of the period like that, because we're talking about momentum going into the intermission, and now the Aeros have it, and they're only trailing by 1.
All right, 3-2 Cincinnati, and when we return, we'll have stats and more right after this.
Texaco has joined the Aero Force. It's time for you to experience Houston Aeros Pro Hockey, and Texaco has your ticket. Stop by participating Houston area Texaco locations. Fill up with 8 gallons of clean System 3 gasoline and get a special coupon for a free hockey ticket when you buy one. Available only at Texaco. Experience sticks swinging, pucks flying, bodies crashing with Houston Aeros Hockey today. Houston Aeros Pro Hockey and Texaco. Take it to the star.
Deportiva, the first and foremost 24-hour sports channel totally in Spanish. Greatest soccer stars, leagues, and tournaments from all corners of the globe are on Prime Deportiva every day. The best professional bouts, the finest basketball, baseball, football, and tennis. The full spectrum of sports, all in Spanish, all on Prime Deportiva. If Prime Deportiva is not part of your basic cable service, contact your local cable operator right now.
Masterpiece Rags, a new attitude in clothing. Make your message one of peace. World peace, family peace, racial peace, inner peace. Masterpiece Rags, it's a way of life.
My life has been a true rags to riches story. So what better way to define my message of peace than Masterpiece Rags? From rags to riches and back to rags. Masterpiece Rags.
Catch the hottest new logo apparel at these fine retailers.
This is the studios at Los Colinas, the premier motion picture and television studios of the South, which are now open to the public for guided tours. Come visit the stages where films like Silkwood, JFK, RoboCop, and Leap of Faith were filmed. A gallery of memorabilia, such as Superman's cape and Batman's costume, and the miniature submarine from Hunt for Red October, along with hundreds of artifacts from the National Museum of Communications. Call 214-869-FILM.
3-2 Cincinnati leading the Houston Aeros. How about the Aeros? After 40 minutes of play, I just finished English school. All right, let's take a look at the second period stats. They're brought to you by your local Texas Jeep and Eagle dealers. 23-18, the Cyclones out shooting the Aeros. Cincinnati had just the one power play back in the first period. They're 1 of 1. Aeros 0 for 2 on the power play. Both teams 2 penalties for 4 minutes. And don't forget, Cincinnati will have really a full 2 minutes of the power play, 1:59 to be exact, on the power play to start the third period. So the Aeros looking to kill that off and then go back to work and trying to knock away that 1-goal margin. Take a look at tonight's game summary. It's brought to you by Columbia Healthcare Systems. Just the 1 goal. Dale DeGray, a power play goal. At 10:47, Paul Lawless gets the only assist, and that's how we found ourselves after 1. But a bunch of scoring in the second period. Dwayne Joyce makes it 2-0 Cincinnati. At 5:50, Paul Lawless the only assist. And then a short and a goal by Don Biggs from Jeff Greenlaw at 10:58. Cincinnati on top 3-0, but a couple of Mark Freer goals, and you can see a common name on the assist column, Sylvain Turgeon. Townsend assisted on the second Freer goal, Hurlbut on the first Freer goal, but it must be nice to see Sylvain Turgeon back in the scoring column, hopefully trying to get him going a little bit. So it's 3-2 Cincinnati. When we return, the third. Back after this.
Like to have a new car before the holidays but can't handle that and Santa too? J. Mark's Hyundai can help with no payments until February 96. Get an economical Accent or Elantra with monthly payments starting at only $119. Sport About Town in a Scoop for only $139 a month at J. Mark's Hyundai. Or slip into a Sonata for only $189 per month. For a limited time, you can even get special interest rates as low as 0%. We're stacking them deep and selling them cheap at J. Mark's Hyundai.
Get ready for Vegas and arcade-style fun in your own game room with Ken's Pinball Slots and Coins.
Home entertainment that can last a lifetime.
Liven up your game room with a jukebox, a pinball machine, or real Las Vegas slot machine.
Visit Ken's amazing showroom today.
Whether you're 3 or 103, you'll discover the fun of playing real arcade games in your own home.
Ken's has the best selection of new and reconditioned games in Texas.
And we offer financing up to 36 months, so lay away now for Christmas. Ken's Pinball Slots and Coins, arcade-style fun in your own home, just east of Baybrook Mall.
Big 12 in 96 Prime Sports. Get the inside scoop, the division news, and dish out the winner. All the news from your favorite pro teams on DirecTV's Pro Football Insider with Fred Edelstein.
Saturday at 10 on Prime Sports.
3-2, the Cyclones lead it. Both teams back out on the ice as we get set for the third and final period. And the Houston Aeros want you to have a blue Christmas, wearing the team's new blue jersey, that is. Order one tonight. We've got only about 3 minutes or so while operators are standing by. Just call 713-629-3700. Wear the authentic jersey just like the one the players wear for $200. Replica for $90. It's including shipping and handling. You can order in time for the holidays by calling 713-629-3700. And that is the number to call, and it could be a blue Christmas. You know what I think I'm going to buy my stage manager, Jennifer Marsh. I'm going to buy her an authentic jersey.
Wow, you're generous.
Well,
what are you going to buy the kid standing next to you?
I'll buy you a beer after the game.
Better than nothing, I guess.
Well, I can't give you the Mike Greenlay jersey. You've already got one. Oh, folks, I can't believe we're having this much fun. It's been a good hockey game so far. The Aeros battling back, and we're ready for the third period. The Aeros members still have to kill off a minute 59 of a penalty to Miles O'Connor.
And I tell you what, there's one stat that I don't like, and that's the Cincinnati Cyclones are 13-0-1 this season. After 2 periods leading, and they're 92-6, going all the way back to 93.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
Oh, just a little bird told me. But anyways, I tell you what, that shows that the Cincinnati Cyclones have a good ability to keep their lead when they go into the third period. So the Aeros are going to have to come out the way they ended up that period, and that is hard and strong, as Miles O'Connor still sits out a minute 59 of his penalty that he got at the end of the second period.
All right, Cyclones have the puck. You know what? I haven't heard much about Paul DiPietro tonight. I have a feeling you may hear from him in this period. Just a feeling. We'll see. Cantos, right side, turns one down. The Aeros need to kill this penalty off and then go to work and getting back into this thing, tying it up. DeGray, the shot. Oh, that ricocheted wide. I'm not sure if Gamble got that or if it was Donnelly. It was turned back to the line for DeGray. Right point, getting set, turns it down for Dobbin, but it was blocked by Lamb, and right back down the ice it goes.
I tell you what, I'm going to start counting shots that Donnelly is blocking, because I tell you what, every game there's 2 or 3, 4 shots that he gets in front of, and give that guy some goalie pads or something, because he's making a lot of saves. You want your defenseman doing that, and he's sacrificing his body. That's good to see.
Yeah, we've seen him do that a number of times this year for the Aeros. As the puck is down and a whistle stops play. 1:15 left in O'Connor's penalty. As we talked about Bob Wilkie earlier tonight, a little frustrated right now. I'm kind of wondering what was said in the Cincinnati locker room after the Aeros caught 2 goals in a matter of a minute.
Well, I think the thing about this team is they know they're good. They know they can score almost at will, and so I think Terry Skowski is going to have to tell his team to stay good defensively, and the goals will come. And that's what they did near the end of that second period, and they got to.
Face off at center. And Dwayne Joyce has it for Cincinnati. He'll move it up and out of his zone. Joyce whipped it into the Aero end. Campbell couldn't slow it. Back to Tuesday, folks. It's turned to the near side rear. Got it out at center ice, and Dwayne Joyce is there. Forechecked Arneal. Worked one ahead for Scott Thomas. Brings it across the line, looking Tomlinson. Taken away by Jakes. Sends it over to Mike Hurlbut, and he'll just shoot that all the way down the ice. So Mike Hurlbut killing penalties off very effectively here. And also, don't forget, he's got an assist already tonight. Joyce. He'll carry on at center ice. Joyce ripped it into the Aero end, but that was blocked by Jakes, and that'll go right back down into the Cincinnati zone. With 1.5 gone to the third, 3-2 Cincinnati down to 35 on the power play. Esau banks one off the boards behind the net for Tomlinson. Tomlinson, rink-wide pass for Paul Wallace. He is bumped by Valamont. Here comes DiPietro, short-handed. He's right in on goal! Shoots! Oh, what a save by Lorenz! Oh, man! DiPietro came in, made a nice move, but Lorenz save of the night.
Tell you what, good job by DiPietro getting this puck and kicking the Jets in. He made the same move almost that he made on Shabbat, and that is he held on to the puck, and he held on to it, and he held on to it, but then he shoots it, and oh my God, what a save by Lorenz as he gets the webbing of his glove out there and makes a spectacular glove save. That's what they call a desperation save. Look at the glove out there. Boy, what a save.
Oh, somebody call me a doctor. I'm having chest pains. I wasn't paying attention to our timeout for good health. He's made a heart-stopping save, and oh man, what a stop there. Oh boy. Here come the Aeros, though. They'll shoot it in. That's the way it has been for Houston in the last couple of games against the Cyclones. It is Don Biggs, moves to center, 10 on the power play for Cincinnati. Biggs across the line, rolled it down to Greenlaw, centered, it went wide. Boy, I thought for a minute there DiPietro was going to make it look like a hero shot, but it was a heroic save by Lorenz. Puck is controlled as teams are at 5 aside. It's back out at center ice, and DeGray is there.
And it would have been his second shorthanded goal in 2 games. So a big save by Lorenz negates that.
Brian Dobbin spins a puck over to Chris Dahlquist. Return it back to Greenlaw. Hits the line. Greenlaw dropped it back. Dobbin shooting. Gamble saving. Puck loose in front, and the Aeros clear not out. DeGray held at the right point. Turned into the slot, but there was Malamont to clear it. It goes back into the Cincinnati zone. Dahlquist. A pass at center. And the Cyclones turning. Jeff Greenlaw sends one over to the left side for Chris Dahlquist. Back for Dale DeGray in his own zone. Turned one down the ice, and Miles O'Connor's there in his own blue line. Looking for Conroy. Came out in front, but the Aeros are back. Mark Lamb hits the line with Slivchenko. Tipped it into the corner. Slivchenko and Esau go in there. Lorenz takes it away, and it's controlled by Dahlquist. Give it over to the left side. It's shot out at center ice from LaBelle to Hawkins. It went back into the Arizona. Mike Hurlbut is there. Hurlbut to Slivchenko trying to clear, cannot. And here comes Lamb. Lamb hits the line. Lamb turning right side. Lamb centered. Here's Conroy. The shot tipped it wide. And the puck boomed around. It's controlled by Lamb. Base of the right circle. He's got Hurlbut in front. The shot. Oh, Hurlbut with a chance, and he missed the net. Here's the shot in front. And it's hooked wide by Maurice. Oh, the guys can't even hit the net. They had 2 chances in front, but both missed the net. Here's Hurlbut again on a left pad save. Made by Lorenz, and it's cleared by the Cyclones. Oh, man, it must be the moving net that you see in an all-sport commercial. Here comes Maurice down the right side, trying to cut in. He's bumped by Esau. It was jammed away back for Lamb. It's controlled by Maurice. Base of the right circle. Pass in front. But Marcinishin cleared it out at center. One action here as the Aeros are just teeing it up. Now the puck to the near side. Esau is there. Forechecked by Maurice. And the Cyclones have it. They'll clear it all the way out at center ice. For a minute there, it looked like a Sunday tea time at Lakeside. They were just teeing it up. Puck controlled by Lawless. And it's jammed behind the net. Townsend in the corner, wrapped up by Thomas. It's pushed to the corner. Turgeon lugged it out of there. And finally, Freer poked it free, but it came out to Tomlinson. A pass to the right side for Lawless. It's turned around by Laniel. DeGray is there. Dale DeGray sidestep a check. Turn it down to the right side. Thomas Campbell came out of the net to try and flip it away. 4.5 con in the third. Aeros need a goal. Here they come, 3-on-2. Townsend left side. Ready to goal. He shoots. Great save by Lorenz. He will hold on. Let's take a timeout. 15:21 to go in the third. It's 3-2 Cincinnati. The Jets are flying, and so is this word from Southwest Airlines.
Gotta Go's come in 2 kinds. Not so good.
That too. That's gotta go.
And good.
Got the flowers, Mark. Now, when are you sending you?
Well, for the good kind, Southwest Airlines has Gotta Go fares from $19 on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays.
I'm real lonely.
But hurry, because the going isn't always this good.
Mom, I gotta go!
Southwest, the low-fare airline.
Here's your wake-up call, nature lover.
If that didn't work, try this. Now, for only $259 a month, get a classic Jeep Cherokee with 190 horsepower, automatic transmission, quadra-link suspension, and driver's airbag. All for only $259 a month, including air at no charge. Now, if that didn't wake you up, try this.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Welcome back to the Summit. Cyclones lead at 3-2 with 15:21 left. You know, Adam, sometimes when a goalie makes a lot of saves, you give him a little too much respect, and the Aeros do that on these plays. A good job in front. Here it's Maurice in front. He misses a net, giving him a little too much respect. And then right afterwards, it's Hurlbutt doing the same thing. That's the second look at the Maurice one. But I tell you what, the Aeros going to try to put the puck through him right now.
Puck goes down into the Aero end, and after it's Jakes, we've got an icing call indicated as Jakes is there, and they'll bring the face-off back into the Cincinnati zone with just about 5 minutes gone in the third period. You think maybe the guards know who that guy is on your screen now, Steve Jakes?
I think they do. He gave him a piece of their mind, so piece of his mind. So, oh well, got him fired up for the game. He's having a strong one, and Terry Ruskowski telling him where he's going to go. 19 saves for Danny Lorenz tonight, and he didn't have to make a save on the last flurry as the Aeros missed the net a couple times. But I tell you what, the Aeros testing him a lot more now on the shorthanded there. DiPietro almost had a goal, his second shorthanded one in 2 games, but Lorenz made an unbelievable save to keep the score at 3-2. So a good job. I'm sure the defensemen were tapping him on the pads after that one.
Face-off controlled by Cincinnati. DeGray cleared one out at center, and back is Mike Hurlbutt. He'll send one over to the right side for O'Connor. Looking deep. Pietro intercepted by Biggs. Here come the Cyclones. Left side, Biggs. Sends one to the right wing. Dobbin right in. Waiting, turning, centering, scoring! That went off a skate.
That went off Gamble. Gamble went to... When Dobbin went around Gamble, Gamble stuck his stick out to try and stop the pass from coming out in front, and Dobbin just banked it off Gamble's stick right into his own net. And a good job by Dobbin, and you know what? He shows patience on this one as he goes around. Gamble goes down on his knee, and then he just puts his...
I didn't think it was.
You know what? You are right. It did go off of DiPietro's skate. It looked like originally it went off of Gamble's stick, but DiPietro back checking, puts on the brakes right in the crease, and Dobbin just throws it in front. Nothing Gamble can do on that one as DiPietro kicks it in his own net, and they have a 2-goal lead, 4-2.
Statistician Neil Wilkins handing me a stat. How about this one? When the Cyclones score 4 more goals, 15-0. Puck is back into the Aero end, and here is Ward Donnelly. Aeros have worked so hard to make it back a 1-goal hockey game, and then that one. It's cleared out at center ice, and the Cyclones turn it around. They'll bring it across the line. Hawkins off sides. The Aeros will have a face-off back at center ice.
And there is Hawkins, but I tell you what, Dobbin usually likes to go 5-hole, but he showed patience that time, and he walked around Gamble and threw it out front and got lucky as DiPietro was stopping in the crease, and it deflected off his skates.
Our boys of the Houston Aeros are in the midst of an all-out professional hockey war. You can support the war effort. The Aero War Bonds are on sale now. War Bonds are $10 ticket vouchers and booklets of $5. They are redeemable for tickets to the games you want to see. A perfect gift for the holidays. And they're on sale. Prorated season ticket packages. Please call 627-AERO for more information. Cyclones turning down the left side, but it was pushed away by Maurice. He'll bang one out at center. Now it is Al Conroy. Right to left he comes. Conroy through the neutral zone. Hits the line. Conroy moving in center line, but it came wide of the net. Malamont turning, trying to move one in there. It came behind the net. Lamb trying to dig it out, but Hawkins is there. Hawkins off the boards. It came out at center, and Donnelly will shoot it back. I thought that was going to go out of play. He had a lot of loft on that. Cyclones in behind the net, had it taken away. Lamb turns on Conroy, couldn't stuff one in there. Esau tackling Conroy behind the net. It came out to the far side, and Jakes pinches his man off the puck. Here's a chance for Lamb. Shoots right on, and Lorenz will save, and he will hold on. Lorenz came out to the top of the crease and had a perfect angle on Mark Lamb, and he will hold on with 13:45 to go in the third and a 4-2 Cincinnati lead.
You know, a lot of the success of goalies like Danny Lorenz is because they get out and they challenge. Challenging for goaltenders is key, and he does that very well. As you'll see, most of the time when he makes a save, he'll be standing around the top of his crease. And if you come to the games, you'll see the blue crease there. He's usually above that, outside of that, and that really cuts down the angle. He's 13-0-1 when leading after 2 periods, so he has not lost a game going into the 3rd period with a lead. The Aeros are going to try and make that different.
Puck is controlled by Houston. Here is Freer. Sends one out. The shot wide of the net by Jakes. Okay, if the Aeros could hit the net, they'd have a few more scoring chances. They've had about 4 great chances, and they've missed the net on all of them. On the 4 that I'm referring to. But they've also had a few great chances. Lorenz has robbed them on. And the puck goes up and out of play. You know, talking about Danny Lorenz, he was originally a draft pick of the New York Islanders back in June of 1988. He was the number 4th selection, or 4th round rather, 58th overall. And he was picked up by the Florida Panthers in the offseason, so sent here. And, you know, he played his junior hockey with Seattle in the Western League, and he was an above average, a very good goaltender in the Western League, but I don't remember him being this stellar. But, boy, he's really picked up his play.
Well, he's always been a highly touted goaltender, and had a little bit of trouble in Salt Lake when he was there, but that was, I mean, that was not all attributed to him. It was his team was not that strong. And now he has found a little bit of both, a good rhythm himself and a good team to play in behind.
I'll tell you an interesting story next whistle. Puck comes out at center ice, and here come the Cyclones. They'll shoot it into the arrow end. Back is Jakes to play it. Jakes turns from right to left, hooked off the play, but there was Mark Freer to scoop it up. He'll move to center ice. Freer skating well through the neutral zone. Hits the line with Turgeon and Townsend. Turgeon winding, shooting, stopping his Lorenz. They bang away at the rebound. Well, Freer almost had another crack at one, and boy, a puck hits his skate. Now Turgeon trying to center one. Townsend, a bouncing puck, couldn't get a shot away. It's picked up by Laniel, punches at the point, but it scoops out at center ice, and it's taken away by Turgeon. Has to wait for Freer to come on sides. Turgeon for Laniel. He'll turn in the neutral zone. Aeros need 2 goals, though they're down 4-2 with 12:43 to play. Dave Marcinishin. This one over to Bob Wilkie. Center ice Biggs. Jams one into the arrow end, and Houston has to go back. Miles O'Connor with the puck to turn it to the far side. It was off skates. It came back to O'Connor. Right now, they're throwing him off skates. Hurlbut.
They saw the arrow, they saw the Cyclones do it, but I think they'll have to be down a little closer to the net to be successful on it.
Yeah, puck is controlled by O'Connor. Far side jumped on by Pietro, and he spanked it up and out of play. 12:09 to go in the third period. It is Houston trailing this hockey game by a score of 4-2, and we'll be right back.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've come.
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Hey, Remington. Shave this.
The newest Remington Triple Foil. The only shaver with 3 micro screens now has a 50% greater cutting rate for a close, smooth shave. The Remington Triple Foil. If you can grow it, we can shave it.
Everything's bigger in Texas, and nothing's larger in the Lone Star State than high school sports. Prime Sports High School Extra and host Craig Way bring all the action right into your living room.
On the Extra, Sundays at 9:30 and 6:30, only on Prime Sports.
It's a 4-2 Cyclone lead. 12:09 to go in the third period. And it's controlled by Miles O'Connor. Sends one to the near side, Mike Hurlbut. He'll ram one into the Cincinnati zone. And it's kicked down. Looking is DiPietro. Couldn't find the handle. Biggs is there. Scrapes one to the near side. And it's turned out by Greenlaw out at center ice. And what's this? Slivchenko without a helmet? We've never seen that before. Got that old spring-loaded CCM. It popped right off his head. Here come the Aeros. The pass missing Slivchenko. It'll go down the ice. It's icing as Cincinnati goes back. Icing the face-off back into the Aeros zone. 11:38 to go in the third. And there's a good look at Vadim Slivchenko. He's been somewhat ineffective in the last couple of games, and he hasn't been able to really utilize his speed, but it's kind of tough when the whole hockey team you're playing against has as much speed as you do.
Yeah, and a couple guys, especially like Lawless, who really possesses a lot of speed. But yeah, the Cyclones do possess team speed, and that's always good because you can force a team into their zone and hem them in there, and you also can make the transition play so much better. When you get the puck down deep in your zone, you can really move it up to players like Hawkins, who himself has a lot of speed as well.
Face-off to the left side of Troy Gamble. People are asking me, hey, I didn't know that former Aero Todd Harkins was playing in Cincinnati. No. Todd Hawkins. Big difference. He played in Minnesota a little bit last year. In fact, I remember when Minnesota played the Aeros, it was tough when Harkins was battling with Hawkins. Even I had my problems, Greener, believe it or not.
That is hard to believe.
I know. You know, I've never made a mistake. I thought I did once, but I was wrong. Face off to the left side. Come on, it works a lot better.
Talk about using old jokes.
Yeah, wow. Puck is controlled by Esau. Lets the shot go, and Gamble the stick save. And here comes Conroy to center. He's got Maurice. Nice pass, but it was blocked up by the Cyclones. Turnaround Hawkins. That was a nice idea by Conroy at this point, trying to spark something offensively to get him back within one. Donnelly. He'll turn in his own end, a pass, center ice. Conroy flips one to Maurice, trying to move it across the line. Maurice is scraped off the puck by Wilkie. Maurice fighting for it in the corner. They continue to grind it out near side. Maurice, good work in the corner, looking for Lamb. And finally, it's poked free. LaBelle is in there. And then Wilkie and Lamb both go down in a heap. Maurice down in a heap. I'll tell you what, everybody kind of looks like we got a sniper in the building again.
Yeah, people are falling all over the place there, trying to get the puck frozen, but at least it'll be frozen down in the Cyclone end.
Your attention, please, Saturday, December 9th. And remember, this is the date, December 9th. Not tonight. We'll get to that in a minute. It's here at the Summit MASH Night. The host for the evening is Jamie Farr, known as Crazy Klinger from the popular TV show. First 200 men arriving at the Summit wearing dresses will get into the game free. Get a photo taken with Jamie Farr. The first 5,000 people, men, women, will receive dog tags. That's this Saturday on the 9th when the Aeros take on the Las Vegas Thunder. Folks showed up in dresses thinking it was tonight. There was like 2 or 3 guys that showed up wearing dresses.
Did you tell them?
Well, I was busy. I was over at Ann Taylor picking out an outfit for Saturday, and I just couldn't find the peekaboo teddy that I wanted. So I wasn't able to talk to them. And I bought something for you, by the way, for MASH night.
They better have sequins in it.
Oh boy. Let's get back to the business at hand. The puck is in the Cincinnati zone. Dave Tomlinson is there. 10:35 left. And it's out at center ice. Jakes rips one back into the Cincinnati zone. Near side, Freer's got it. Left side, trying to work one down. Turgeon behind the net. Tipped away by Marcinish. And Turgeon trying to cut out in front. Here's a chance, the shot. Oh, Freer nearly got one in there. Turning is Turgeon again. Turgeon down, looking Freer, blocked by Tomlinson. Tomlinson skates it and clears it out to center. And Jakes is back. Jakes for Townsend. Rumbling down the right side. Fine shooting. Ooh, this scoop save. Beat by Lorenz. And it is cleared all the way back to center ice. Laniel, he'll move it down center and into the zone. Laniel turn right side, but that is whistled dead on an offsides call. We're halfway through the third, and a 4-2 hockey game in favor of Cincinnati.
And Mark Freer is asking who was offside, because I don't think they believed it was offside. But a good job by Townsend as he rips one, looking for his 8th goal of the season. You know, it's interestingly enough, Townsend had 7 goals has 7 goals up to this point, but he didn't have any assists. Tonight he got his first assist, so quite a shooter. He likes to let that puck go.
Is in the arrow, and Mike Hurlbut is there. Jammed it near side for Yo. Bumped by Biggs. Skate to skate along the near side. DiPietro in to have a look at things as well. They grind it out near side. Dug out by Esau, right side. Esau trying to turn it down, but there was Yo. He'll move it up to the line and fired it to center, but it came right back into the Houston Aeros zone. Gamble out to Slow. Mike Hurlbut is there. Hurlbut turned the puck over, and the shot went off the side of the net. Now it's picked up by Yo. He'll move in behind the net, harassed by Dobbin, who nearly hooked him off the play. It came to center ice, and here comes Slivchenko. Hits the line. Slivy spun off the puck, and it came back out at center ice. And again, Slivchenko has lost the helmet. Here is Kanto dodging a Miles O'Connor check, and it's controlled by Slivchenko again, speeding down the right side. Hits the line. Slivchenko fighting for it. Dumped the puck in, but out of the net, Lorenz. Kantos is there. Chipped one to the line, Slivchenko held, but Hawkins worked it away, and Hawkins moves it out at center ice. Goes into the arrow end. Gamble will slow, trying to find a man to play it to, and here is Steve Jakes. Goes out at center and back into the Cincinnati zone. Icing has been waved off with 8:33 to play. Arrows down 4-2. Conroy centered one, but the Cyclones shoot it down, and this will be an icing call as Jakes goes back to touch. And whistle stops play. Cincinnati leads it by a score of 4-2, 8:23 to play in the third. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Right here, right now, this is where you want to be.
Everything's new at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Even new ways to save. The 96 Buyer's Choice Drive Away. It's your choice. Drive away in the fun-to-drive 1996 Plymouth Neon and get 1.9% APR or $500 cash back.
Right here, right now, this is where you want to be.
See what's new at your local Texas Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Here in Sinaloa, in northwest Mexico, everything is ready for the outdoor enthusiast. World-class wing shooting and astounding angling are all available from this geographically centralized location. The only thing missing from this hunting and fishing paradise is you. Wonderful adventure in Sinaloa's great outdoors. Sinaloa, sea.
Cyclones lead it by 2 with 8:23 remaining in the game. And Hurlbut having a little trouble with this one as it rolls off his stick. Gamble getting back into his net quickly.
He wasn't sure.
The puck slides wide of the net. As a good chance by the Cyclones, but the score still remains 4-2, and the Aeros trying to put some pressure on.
Face off right side of Lorenz. If you watched Gamble on that replay, I think it was like the split second, he realized, wait a minute, whoa, that got turned over.
Putting a lot of trust in his defenseman.
Well, that's half the battle, though, being able to trust one another. Puck is into the slot area and off the face-off, and the Cyclones bring it out at center ice. Couldn't find the handle, and it's turned away by Houston. Jakes hold one ahead. That's blocked, and Tomlinson turned it left side again, picked away by Jakes. Trying to move it up the boards. Lamb and Conroy are there, and Conroy just hoists it into the Cincinnati zone. 8:02 to go in the third. Here's the Gray dodging a Mike Maurice check. It's rolled along the boards. Conroy skating there with Lawless, and here comes Cincinnati at center. It's rolled into the Houston Aeros zone. Laniel made the fair catch, but then it was tipped away, and here comes Lawless. The left-hand save made by Gamble. Into the far corner, Lamb. Pushed away Jenks, moves it along the boards, but again, it's Thomas to Lawless. Oops, couldn't pull the trigger, went through his skates and out at center ice. Len Esau shoots it into the Aero end as the Aeros making changes, and they'll bring out the Turgeon line with Freer and Townsend. Freer, right side, hits the line. Skating down right wing, looks in front, bumped by Marcinich, and Turgeon fighting for it. It came to Townsend behind the net. Townsend waiting, turns one for Freer off skates. It came back to the line. Valamont got there and held it in. Valamont for Townsend. Graham Townsend skating right side, dumped one down for Freer. Freer is straight into the boards by Esau, battling for the puck. Freer had it, sends one in. Oh, and it was blocked by Marcinich, and Townsend was in the neighborhood, but couldn't get a puck, couldn't get a stick on the puck. Now Freer belted by Greenlaw, pinching with Turgeon, but Dobbin comes the other way. Brian Dobbin, left side, Greenlaw shoots it in as Freer finishes his check and sends him head over T-Kettle into the penalty box. Wow, Freer with a nice check. Kind of helped him a little bit too. Here come the Aeros. Valamont pushed one in, and Lorenz will cover up, and then he'll send it back behind. Here come the Cyclones. Don Biggs rolls one near side for Brian Dobbin, harassed on the play, and the Aeros shoot it in. Miles O'Connor. What a hit by Freer. Comes to center ice, and Mike Hurlbut is there. Hurlbut for Laniel. In his own end, Laniel forechecked by LaBelle. It's turned along the far side. Yo bangs one out at center. And here's a chance. Laniel moves it up, and it was rejected by Cantos. And here's a 2-on-1. LaBelle to Cantos. Right in, but he's blocking it. Oh, Hurlbut went head first into the boards, and Jerry Mines has to get out there, and this is not good, folks.
Ouch. That didn't look good at all. He did go head first into the boards. He tripped right as he got to the edge, and whistle was blown immediately.
Get the medic!
Oh, I hope that is not serious, ladies and gentlemen, because he did not turn or anything. It was head first.
Well, I hope they get a doctor out there.
They do. They have everybody out there. Wow, it was made an unbelievable play on the defensive side as he got his stick down, stopped the pass, but he was skating so fast that he wasn't able to slow himself down. And I tell you what, he went head first into the boards, and I don't have to tell you what running into a wall at full speed is like. And I tell you what, that doesn't look very good.
Well, the expression on Terry Ruskowski tells it all right now, and they're bringing out a board.
Well, I'm sure they're going to take every precaution as they don't want to do anything to change his position too much, and until you have see, look, as he loses his edge and he goes head first into the boards, and and that doesn't look that good. You know, they're going to take every precaution, obviously, because with any injury to the head or neck area, you don't want to move the patient too much. So I think what they're going to do is get a neck brace on him and get him on the backboard and the whole bit. and get him off the ice and tend to him as soon as possible.
Well, there is one, if you want to keep things hopefully in a positive perspective, sometimes when you get a jarring like that, you get what's called a stinger, and they just don't want to take any chances. It's like you get numbness, and hopefully everything's okay. You get your feeling back in a couple hours or whatever, and hopefully that's all it is. But boy, I'll tell you what, he jammed his head in there very good.
So yeah, it's a very, very scary situation. Earlier on this year, a boy from I believe it was Boston University. Boston University ran into the boards, and he wasn't very lucky in the situation. But well, hopefully Hurlbut is not injured too seriously on this situation.
Boy, not the debut he wanted. That's too bad. And right now, everyone concerned, and even on both sides. I mean, you just sit there and you watch that, and you just hope. And Terry's just sitting there and doesn't know.
Terry is beside himself. I mean, it really gives you a terrible feeling, and I tell you what, I know what Terry is doing right now, and that is he is praying for Hurlbut. He is asking that there is nothing too seriously happening, as he looked heavenward there a couple times, and I know that what he is doing right now is he's praying that there isn't anything serious to Hurlbut, because everyone knows people, when you hit the boards on the glass, and you've seen it happen so many times, you hit the board on the glass and you see the glass waver back and forth, and that's because there's a lot of give up there. But you know, these boards have to be anchored somehow, and of course where the anchors are is right down about a foot high, a foot and a half, 2 feet high, and it really anchors the boards down, and that's where Hurlbut hit. He hit mid-board, not glass, mid-board, and it's very, very solid right in that area. And so when you hit it, something's got to give, and it usually isn't the boards, it's usually the person. And this doesn't look very good. Hopefully, we say again, we hope that Hurlbut is going to be all right. Like I said, they're going to take every single precaution possible as they put neck braces and backboards and the whole bit on, and get him to the hospital as soon as possible.
We've got a member of our Prime staff down on the ice there, and they do say one thing that is encouraging is not only is he talking, but he was moving his legs.
Okay, so like you said, hopefully, like we said, we're praying right now that everything is as good as it can be in that situation. I mean, I personally don't want to see it again, but I tell you what, it was very ugly scene as he did go head first on the board. And I think what happened is as you know, a skate edge has two edges on it, the inside edge and the outside edge. Well, he was trying to get back up, and he caught both edges. He was on the inside edge of both his skates, and he was like a giraffe drinking water. I mean, he went head first with both his legs splayed out, and so all of his energy, all of the force went right into the boards head first. And like I said, hopefully it's at the worst, hopefully it's a sprained neck or something of that nature, and I'm sure we'll find out and let you know as soon as possible. But I'm sure everyone can say a little prayer for Hurlbut right now, hoping that he is not too seriously injured at this point. You always hate to see something like that, and hopefully he'll be all right in this situation. Everyone giving him a standing ovation right now, as he is going to be taken to the hospital as soon as possible. And I know Terry's got a sick feeling in his stomach, because and as do most people in the building, they do not like to see injuries of that nature. And you know what, it was the thing is, it was a good play. It started out as a good play. Cyclones came down on what seemed to be a 2-on-1, 2-on-2, and Hurlbut came racing back in an effort to make the defensive play, and he did. He got his stick down, stopped the pass, but what happened is he went head first on the boards, and they'll take him to the hospital, and we just pray that he is okay, and our play will resume now.
Yeah, I'm kind of listening a little bit to the crowd here, and it was deathly silent there while they were tending to Hurlbut. Now I'm listening to the crowd, and they're saying they think that maybe this is something that the boys can rally around and try and get back into this thing.
Well, it's always a tough situation to see something like that. I tell you what, I feel kind of queasy myself, so imagine trying to play a hockey game now with what you just saw.
That's got to be tough. But we're underway now, and here's Miles O'Connor in behind the net. Hopefully we can get an update on the situation with Mike Hurlbut. Puck is down in behind the Aero net. It's controlled by LaBelle, and then he goes down hard along the boards. Puck came back out in front, and the Aeros have got it. Arneal moves it out at center ice, charging down the left side, hits the line, looks in front. Arneal centered one, but it was too far for Yo. Trying to work it down, but it was picked up by Cantos and chipped up and out at center ice. It checked up in there, and Balamont gives it back to Scott Arneal. He's bumped along the boards by Dale DeGray, and it's cleared by Cincinnati all the way back into the Aero end. It's Miles O'Connor turning in his own zone. 5:18 to go, and all of a sudden it just seems like this game doesn't matter.
It really does. I tell you what, all my thoughts are in one direction right now.
Yeah, here comes Scott Thomas moving in, and Gamble covers up and holds on with 5:06 to go in the third period. Cyclones lead it by a score of 4-2.
I tell you what, you never want to see anything of that nature happen, and especially to that area of the body. I mean, we've in hockey, football, and sometimes even in baseball, you see broken arms and legs. I mean, I tell you what, doctors can throw those babies back together really easy, but anything around the head and neck area, I tell you what, that's when it really gets scary. And like I said, hopefully the boys can rally around this and maybe pull out a win for Hurlbut in his first game. I tell you what,
played a pretty good game.
He did. He played very solid, got an assist there, and made a good defensive play right before he went headlong into the boards.
I mean, it's just unbelievable what the Aero defense has gone through this year. I mean, all of a sudden, you look at the broken bones between Krupke and Grant and Jakes, and all of a sudden, those are minor compared to what we're looking at with Mike Hurlbut. Hopefully, it is just a stinger, but we have no idea, and we will not speculate. Hopefully, we can get an update, though. Puck is controlled by Laniel, and it's turned around for Jakes. Bangs one off the boards. Maurice is there. He'll try to move it back through, and it's controlled by Lawless, right side. It goes into the arrow end, and it's shot back at center. Here comes Mark Lamb. Lamb hits the line. They're looking along for Maurice. Lamb getting set. Lamb has Turgeon cutting. Turgeon cutting in, looks in front, and he was dumped into the boards. And Greenlaw is upended. Picked up Maurice. Looks in front. He's scraped by Greenlaw. Lamb, he's pushed off by Greenlaw. Dobbin chips it along the boards. Greenlaw in the corner, harassed by Lamb. Turgeon poked it free. Good battle into the corner with under 4 minutes to go in the third. Cincinnati leads at 4-2. And then Turgeon with Marcinishin right now. Puck came behind, and it's rolled away, and it came out at center ice for Brian Dobbin. He's got Biggs streaking. Here's a pass for Biggs. Biggs in, shooting. Gamble saving, and Valamont is back. Valamont rolled one ahead for Maurice, trying to tip it ahead, but Don Biggs is there. Biggs shoots it into the arrow end, and Gamble slows it, and it's Miles O'Connor who turns it around. O'Connor to the right side. Freer hits the line. Freer moving along the boards. He's harassed by Wilkie. And it's tipped away. Wilkie shoots it back down into the arrow zone. Icing is indicated. It will be icing as Mark Laniel goes back. And let's take time out. 4-2 Cincinnati back after this.
Texaco has joined the Aero Force. It's time for you to experience Houston Aeros Pro Hockey, and Texaco has your ticket. Stop by participating Houston area Texaco locations. Fill up with 8 gallons of clean System 3 gasoline and get a special coupon for a free hockey ticket when you buy one. Available only at Texaco. Experience sticks swinging, pucks flying, bodies crashing with Houston Aeros Hockey today. Houston Aeros Pro Hockey and Texaco. Take it to the star. The 1996 Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. The Colorado Buffaloes, led by head coach Rick Neuheisel and quarterback John Hessler, have trampled all others for a coveted place in Dallas, Texas. Their opponents, the Oregon Ducks, building on last year's Rose Bowl appearance, they continue to assert their power in the Pac-10. Come watch 2 of the nation's most dynamic teams battle for one of college football's major prizes. Be a part of the Cotton Bowl tradition. Order your tickets today. Call 214-638-BOWL.
Off to the left side of Danny Lorenz, a 4-2 hockey game in favor of Cincinnati.
Well, we've had an update, and he has movement to his limbs. He did speak a bit, and they're taking him to Rosewood Hospital for x-rays, so it looks I tell you what, it looks really promising. I'm glad to hear that. I also understand that I think they might have removed the neck brace. He does have a laceration to his face, but thank God, I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah. Arrow net is empty. Gamble is to the bench, so the Arrows have an extra attacker with 3 minutes to go. Freer behind the net. Looks in front. Centered the shot. Oh, and I think that might have grazed the post from DiPietro. Puck near side. Townsend battling in there. Slivchenko trying to dig it out. And it's pushed Freer. Center. DiPietro the shot blocked. Bouncing puck came behind the net. Townsend for Freer. Give it to Slivchenko. Slivy back to the line for Laniel. The shot ricocheted wide. It'll come back to the right side. Jakes was pinching. It was chipped away. And Hawkins has a clear shot down the left side across the line. He'll shoot it toward the empty net, but it's blocked by Laniel. 2:25 to go. Net empty for Houston. Laniel hits the line. Laniel had a poke check. It came back. Slivchenko. Here's Townsend. Centered. Oh, he had Laniel all alone in front. And he couldn't get the pass to him. And the Cyclones shoot it down the ice toward the empty net. It's curving toward there. And it'll go wide. Boy, that nearly looked like it shouldn't have been icy, but the Aeros are going to get a break.
I agree. I thought it rolled through the corner of the crease. And as you know, when the puck rolls through the crease, the icing is negated from when it's dumped in. So yes, the Aeros do catch some of a bit of a break. You know, a lot of coaches will tell their teams, I don't want you going for that open net. I want you to get the red line before you go dumping it in, because obviously an icing will bring it all the way back, just like this did. This is an icing call as you follow it all the way down the ice. Actually, a very good call. A very good call. And you know what? We're out from a different angle. It looked like it might have caught the corner, but a very good call by the linesman. And
hey, the best camera work by Mike and Estesio and Murphy Brown and our prime crew doing a fantastic job. And hey, while I got him, and I should welcome Mike and Estesio back directing, doing a great job. He's spending most of his time in Dallas, and we miss him, but glad to have him with us tonight. Doing a great job. Face off to the left side of Danny Lorenz. It's controlled by DeGray. Moved to the line and out at center ice, but O'Connor will hustle back. O'Connor turning in behind the net. Set up camp and roll into Lamb, having trouble getting out. Here's his shot. Oh, man! O'Connor held that at the goal line. That was going right in there, and O'Connor says, I got that one, and he'll shoot it back down the ice. So a save by O'Connor, and his save percentage at 1,000. Here's a centering pass, and Conroy couldn't pull the trigger. O'Connor trims one down. Here's a centering pass, and again, Conroy can't get the shot away. And it's cleared out at center. 1:28 to go in the third in a 4-2 hockey game in favor of Cincinnati. Aeros shoot the puck in. It's slowed by Lorenz. Hammered along the boards, near side, and it's picked up by Tomlinson and shot toward the empty net. Score! And it's 5-2 Cincinnati, and that'll be the hockey game.
Well, you know, Tomlinson has a wide open net, and he makes good. He'll get his 13th goal of the season. But, you know, Terry Skowski had to do something to try and get something clicking, and it was working. The Aeros just missed a couple wide open opportunities and, you know, couldn't catch the pass in front of the net. They had some open nets if they could get the pass, but Tomlinson eventually gets the puck, and you knew that after a couple chances, someone like Tomlinson would dump it down the ice and it would hit the open net. That will probably be the game, 5-2 with 1:15 left. And the Aeros will dump it in.
Puck goes down into the Cincinnati zone. Here is Len Esau, bumped by Townsend, and jammed away by Yo. They go to the far side, Greenlaw. He's bumped by DiPietro. Aim to the line, and it's shot back down with under a minute to go. Here come the Cyclones dominant. So the Aeros now are going to have dropped their third in a row, but I'll tell you, it kind of seems, you know, the Aeros showed some valiant effort coming back, but we're just glad about Mike Hurlbut. Puck came into the Cincinnati zone, near side DiPietro, trying to move one out. Here's Jake's right side, shooting, and was stopped by Lorenz. You know, here's the interesting thing about Mike Hurlbut, Greener, is here's a guy that gets into town, 4 o'clock or so, gets in, has to get dressed, get ready for the game. He hasn't met hardly anybody. I never even got a chance to talk to him before the game, and probably half the guys on the team hadn't even a chance to meet him hardly. And
well, I know I walked by him, but he was in deep conversation with our Neil, and you're probably talking about things like breakouts. So I said, well, I'll meet him after the game and everything. And you know,
not now.
Well, I won't meet him tonight, but I tell you what, we'll definitely talk to him tomorrow. And it's a good thing that we're getting positive feedback.
Yes.
From our people downstairs and everything. It is positive, so that's good. I'm glad about that.
Here's a shot by Donnelly that was right on. Lorenz stopped that one. Oh, by the way, Danny Lorenz having an outstanding hockey game tonight. Puck checks up at center ice, and here come the Cyclones. Across the line, Hawkins winding, shooting, Gamble stopping with 20 seconds left, and Donnelly is there. Worked one to the line, not out. Here's Gord Donnelly back in his own end. Donnelly to the near side, Yo. DiPietro skates it out at center ice, and it goes into the Cincinnati zone. Lorenz will slow it. Dwayne Joyce hammered it near side. Hawkins came out in front. LaBelle is there, and it came out at center ice, and that is the hockey game. So the Houston Aeros fall by a score of 5-2. Danny Lorenz picks up his 12th win of the season. He does it in spectacular fashion. Head coach Ron Smith very pleased, especially the way that the team staved off the Aero charge. And the Cincinnati Cyclones continue to surge. 25-3 they are with 43 points. We'll have some more thoughts right after this.
Questions keep men up nights. How good can you possibly feel? Are you looking for peak performance? Men's Health Magazine has the answers. Call now and get your first issue free. You'll discover uncommon knowledge like 50 ways to flatten your stomach without sit-ups, how to cut your cholesterol.
Attention! Stop by McCollum Chevrolet Oldsmobile Dodge today and bring a toy. McCollum will match it with the toy and donate them to Toys for Tots. Plus, at McCollum, get a new car, truck, or van for $39. Yes, $39 buys you a new, used, or program car. Only at McCollum.
Got $39? At McCollum's Pontiac Cadillac GMC, you can get a new car, truck, or van for $220 and get $1 back. Plus, bring a toy to McCollum, and they'll match it with a toy and donate them to Toys for Tots. McCollum, where you can get a new car for $39.
Hi, Charlie with Star Home Rental with more information on the Star Term Purchase Program. What do you get? You get quality GE and Hotpoint washers and dryers, microwaves and refrigerators, Pioneer and Kenwood rack systems, Pioneer and Kenwood mini systems, all with CV changers, RCA TVs, VCRs, and TV VCR combinations. Quality products and service at payments and terms you can afford. That's the Star Term Purchase Program.
Only at Star Home Rental.
Game as the top college soccer programs battle it out. Catch the action week after week as speed, skill, and toughness prove victorious. NCAA semifinals and final coverage begins Friday on Prime Sports.
Houston Aeros hockey on Prime Sports has been brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With low fares on every seat of every flight, everywhere it flies. Fly Southwest, the low-fare airline. By your participating Texas Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep and Eagle dealers. By Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment to healthcare together. By Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. And by the Gatorade Company. If you're living life to the fullest, you're gonna get thirsty. That's why you need Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Life's a sport. Drink it up. Cyclones defeat the Houston Aeros by a score of 5-2. Houston has now dropped 3 in a row and are 10-19-2 and continue to lose ground to the Atlanta Knights, who are idle tonight. So the Knights have 3 games at hand and the Aeros 4 points back of the Atlanta Knights. It's time for our Gatorade play of the game, brought to you by Gatorade. And I'll tell you what, this is definitely the turning point for Houston and Cincinnati.
Well, it certainly was. DiPietro short-handed makes this unbelievable move, but even more unbelievable was a save that Lorenz made. That kept the score at 3-2, and that actually stopped the Aeros from coming back.
And a big night for Danny Lorenz, and he is our Texaco star of the game. 12-1-2 his record with the win tonight. 29 saves. I'll tell you what, folks, of the 29, I think he had maybe 4 routine saves. The other ones, I mean, he had to literally stand on his lips tonight.
He did. He made a lot of good saves, and a lot of them through crowds, through screens, and he did the right thing with the shots. He kicked the rebounds to the corner, and he smothered the rest.
Let's take a look at tonight's final stats. They're brought to you by your local Texas Dodge dealers. 33-31, the Cyclones outshoot the Houston Aeros tonight. Cyclones go 1 of 2 on the power play. Aeros 0 for 2 on the power play. And the penalty minutes both 2 for 4 minutes. And the Cyclones go on to the win by a score of 5-3. And it sets up for a really good contest against Las Vegas.
It certainly does. Las Vegas is it might even be tougher than the Cyclones, so the Aeros are definitely going to have to be at the top of their game.
Aeros' next game will be Saturday night then, when they host the Southwest Division leading Las Vegas Thunder. Game can be seen on UPN 20 for Saturday Night on Ice, and also heard on 950 KPRC Radio. Our next Prime Sports telecast will be Wednesday night at 6:30 from Atlanta, when the Aeros face off with the Knights. Once again, tonight's final score, Cyclones 5, Aeros 2. For those of you listening on KPRC, stay tuned for the post-game call-in show. For Mike Greenlay, this is Adam Gordon saying good night from the summit.